the definitive 3 hours in this state.
Number one game of the
There
year.
is nothing that compares.
Virtually as soon as you take your first breath, you declare
Either you're Auburn or you're Alabama. It is a relief.
Us against them.
There's a lot of bad blood.
Them aren't nice people.
It's the best feeling to win.
Relief.
To lose, I don't even want to think about it.
Who will be the joker and who will be the jokey?
It's Auburn or Alabama.
Introducing McDonald's Deluxe Sandwiches. They're new, they're big, with fresh toppings and a bakery soft roll. The average adult has over 8,000 taste buds. Get ready to use them all. It's McDonald's with a grown-up taste.
Somewhere between silver and white is a color called chrome. One of the colors between the colors created by Canon Laser Color. Canon Laser Color, its only competition is reality.
Legion Field, Birmingham, Alabama, as the Crimson Tide has just taken the field. And just a few moments ago, the United States Postal Service unveiled the design of a Paul Bear Bryant commemorative stamp. Members of the Bryant family were on hand. The design, by the way, is the fourth and final design of a 4-stamp set honoring Bear Bryant, George Halas, Pop Warner, and Vince Lombardi, a tribute to 4 individuals who have influenced the game of football in such a great way. Hi, everybody. Ron Franklin, and welcome once again to primetime college football here on ESPN. There are rivalries, and there are rivalries, and then there's Alabama and Auburn. This one started back in 1893. You can call it the Iron Bowl. You can call it the Battle of Birmingham. What makes this one special? Well, if you don't live in this part of the world, you need to understand whether you're born here or move into this state, once you do, you must declare. You're either Auburn or you're Alabama. There is no riding the fence. This is the 3.5 hours that this state literally stands still because there was a common interest in one or the other. Mike Gottfried, you live here. You know that they never stop talking about it, do they?
365 days a year in Mobile, Alabama. You're going to hear about it or read about the Alabama-Auburn football history. And it's great. And tonight, when you look at this ball game, Ron, leadership, experience, it favors Alabama. They got 29 seniors as opposed to 12 seniors for Auburn. And I've always felt like senior leadership in football teams will carry you in big ball games. Auburn's defensive line, very, very young in this football game, having to stop a very good ground game by Alabama. But the pressure falls on Damian Craig, the Auburn quarterback. If he can get outside, cause some problems for this Alabama defense, and on the run make some big plays, because Alabama plays a lot of man coverage and they'll get some big opportunities on the outside. So that's what Auburn has to do. Damian Craig has to have a big game.
Mike, what about pace in this football game? I get the feeling it's going to be very important because Alabama would love to control it. Slugfest.
Well, Damian Craig, remember now, young quarterback, first time in this ball game. Terry Bowden may want to come out conservatively because he's an Alabama kid, played at Blunt High School in Mobile. You might want to start this game slow because Alabama's going to try to keep a slow pace.
Kellen Winslow down on the sideline tonight. Let's go down and get his slant on the beginning of this one tonight. Kellen?
Ron and Mike, I watched Damian Craig in pregame warm-up. He looked fine. He looked very calm, throwing good balls, interacting with his teammates. But the key is going to be how he handles this crowd, his first start with that 24-second time frame he has to get a play off. With their complex substitution and their complex adjustments in his Terry Bowden offense. We'll see how he handles that.
All right, Kellen. Auburn has won the toss. They have elected to defer. So the 1996 edition of the Iron Bowl about to get underway. Marcel West, also Michael Vaughn, number 22, the 2 deep men for the Alabama Crimson Tide, as they will take it. What an absolutely gorgeous night we have for football. 51 degrees right now. It's supposed to go down into the mid-40s. The wind, not really a problem. 8 to 10 miles an hour, south-southeast. Clear skies. In fact, we have a wonderful full moon about to bloom right over the top of the stadium as you look at Craig on the sideline. Terry Bowden, the head coach of the Auburn Tigers. First 14 games, 14-0. His last 17, 9, 7, and 1. Delay here at the beginning of the ball game is Gene Stallings. His resume: 7th season as the head coach, 1 national title, an SEC title, 3 SEC West titles, and 5 bowl appearances. And of course, his coaching career, not just here in Alabama, but he has worked with some great ones on the staff with Tom Landry, with the Dallas Cowboys as well. Mike, can you see what the delay is down on the sideline? A band member was injured, and you see Gene Stallings even came down to check on the young lady. Did she get bumped by a football player as they were coming out? That's what we were told had happened. So Coach Stallings, ever the gentleman, comes down and makes sure that everybody is okay. Jared Holmes with the kick, line drive. Gets by West into the end zone. So let's check the starters for the Alabama Crimson Tide on offense tonight. Freddie Kitchens. He will have Riddle behind him and also look for Alexander, maybe even Montoya Madden as well. Trevis Smith, the fullback. The receivers, Michael Vaughn is the go-to guy. Calvin Hall. You'll see a couple of others as well. Patrick Hape, a good blocker, and that's what he'll be used as primarily in this offense. Samuels, Friend, Causey, Meadows, and DeMario. But the bell cow is Causey right there in the middle. He's a senior, and this is the last time that he will suit up against the Auburn Tigers. Going to throw on first down. Gets it out in the flat, and there's Vaughn, the guy we talked about. Breaks the tackle, comes to the 22, the 23. Short gain, and let's check the defensive starters for the Auburn Tigers. Dorsey, Brumbaugh, and Carlson. Brumbaugh has a sprained right knee, but he will start tonight. The linebackers, very active group, and they are good. Reese, Neal, Spikes, and Mostella. And in the secondary, this is a young group, but I'll tell you they're active. Martavius Houston, probably the leader back there. They'll run on second down. It's Riddle. Has 5, 6, and 7, close to the first down at the 30-yard line. Martavius Houston comes up from his safety spot to make the tackle on him. And let's see where they have marked the football. Very close to moving the chains.
Ron, the toughest matchup for Auburn tonight is the young defensive front. Now, you look at it, 1 senior, 1 junior, 5 sophomores, 4 freshmen in this lineup. Jimmy Brumbaugh, the nose guard, the best defensive lineman, the 1 senior, is playing hurt tonight. Depends how long he can go in there at the nose position.
Bill Oliver, as we mentioned in the cut-in, of course, was at Auburn, then came to Alabama, now is back in the Plains. Running play on third down, big opening for Riddle, has 6 yards. First down. Alabama Crimson Tide will move the chains as he got tripped up by Brumbaugh going through the middle.
Well, you expect Alabama to run the football. We talked about in the cut-in that we did just a little bit ago. They're going to run the football. You know that if you're Auburn. Auburn has to stack it up. They have to put 8 people up at the line of scrimmage. You see last week, both tailbacks going over 100 yards versus Mississippi State. I still believe Freddie Kitchens is going to have some opportunities tonight to throw the football and throw it well.
New line of scrimmage just across the 35. A lot of time. Swings the pass out to Curtis Alexander, and he's open. 45, 40, 35. Now there's a flag down deep. He will take it to the end zone, but let's check the marker. That could be against Alabama.
Ron, it looked like to me that Calvin Hall, number 83, was holding the defensive back from Auburn. We'll see if that's going to be the call. Well-designed play by Woody McCorvey. Looks like it's going to go against Auburn.
Fake mask foul against the defense. The
63-yard touchdown.
Ron, I was talking about Calvin Hall. Calvin Hall, number 83. Maybe we'll see if we can pick him up. Just a quick throw by Freddie Kitchens out to the outside. to Curtis Alexander. Now it's number 83, Calvin Hall. It looked like to me he got tangled up with the defensive back, and I thought that was going to be the call, but it wasn't, and it's an Alabama touchdown.
So the Crimson Tide wastes very little time. Brock tries to make it 7-0. He's got it. 13 minutes, 30 seconds left to play in the opening quarter, and the Tide is on the board.
A truck's life is filled with slings and arrows, including the inevitable flying stones and unmanned shopping carts. So we designed the all-new Dodge Dakota with software that optimizes dent resistance. Life on the road may be a battle, but Dakota has superior armor. The new Dodge Dakota. It's full of surprises.
Fastest man in football, take 2, and action.
All right, Rocket, show us how easy it is to dial 1-800-COLLECT.
I just did it.
Did what?
Dialed 1-800-COLLECT.
Well, can you do it slower next time?
Fastest man in football, take 3.
Okay, try it again. Show us how easy it is to dial 1-800-COLLECT.
I just did it.
Did what?
Dialed 1-800-COLLECT.
You did?
Can we go to replay? Dial 1-800-COLLECT. It's fast, it's easy, it saves.
Well, tonight's aerial shots are being provided by the Bud One airship, which travels throughout the year, appearing at many exciting sporting events across the country. It has got a great night and a clear sky to view down at this overflow crowd, who has just witnessed 4 plays, 80 yards, 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And Curtis Alexander, who was the starter at tailback at the beginning of the year until he injured a wrist and had to have surgery, comes into the lineup. So what a stable of running backs Alabama has. Watts with the kickoff. At the 1, it's Baker. Robert, oh my goodness, at the 20-yard line, he gets shellacked. That is John David Phillips. Phillips is a quarterback playing on special teams, and he just put the wood on Baker. Damian Craig.
John David Phillips coming down the field. He's going to make this hit. Well, really, the
Actually,
Auburn
his own
player,
man.
yeah. He knocked the Auburn man into it.
Knocked the Auburn man into it. Well, that's a smart quarterback. Craig on first down. Rusty Williams hit at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a half yard, and that's it. Here are the starters, Craig, McLeod, and Rusty Williams. 5 out of the last 6 games, Williams has moved in as the starter. The wide receivers, it'll be Goodson and Bailey. We also will see Baker. We'll see Whittago Shea, the tight end, Jesse McCovery. In the offensive line, this is the way they line up. James Riley, Tiger, Thomas, and Rowe. And Victor Riley is the bell cow of that group. The youngster at left tackle. Actually, or left guard, they flipped that offensive line. Puts it up on top. Just overthrown as he went for Robert Baker, number 21. That was Fernando Bryant on the cover. Defensively for Alabama, Hood, Myers, Powell, and Moore. And Michael Myers is the one that they have to occupy tonight. You'll see him doubled all night because he really can cause a ruckus. Outstanding linebackers, particularly Staten and Rudd. And in the secondary, this is a bona fide group back here as well, particularly those corners, Bryant and Townsend, and keep an eye for number 7, KJ. Kevin is an outstanding player. We'll call his name a lot this evening. Third down, line to make is the 30. Craig's pass, well overthrown and almost intercepted by Deshae Townsend.
Ron, when you look at Damian Craig, all the teams trade tapes all through the year, and what Alabama's doing here early in the ball game is jumping the wide receivers with press coverage. Now, Florida did this against them also. Tight press coverage on the outside, and Damian Craig was 7 of 28 for 82 yards, 2 interceptions, so he's going to have to make some tight throws tonight.
This is Holmes to punt. Gets it away. This is a dandy. Goss all the way back at the 24-yard line. Covered in white, and he'll have a return of 6 yards. 53 yards on that punt. Well, ESPN is your home for college football next Saturday at 6 o'clock on prime time. It's Peyton Manning and the number 9 Tennessee Volunteers taking on the Vanderbilt Commodores. But first, be sure and start your college game day at 11 o'clock. The Residence Inn scoreboard at 3.
Ron, that pass by Freddie Kitchens, he threw 2 passes in the first drive, and that's tough for Auburn, because when you throw the football successfully, you open up the run, and that's what Alabama basically wants to do.
Here comes the running play. Near sideline, out of bounds, close to another first down at the 40-yard line is Riddle. And we need to keep an eye on the substitutions for those backs, because as we mentioned, we saw Sean Alexander on the sideline, and then they slipped number 32 Curtis Alexander into the ballgame, and maybe a little bit more in his story. He started the year as the starter at tailback for Alabama, injured a wrist, had to have minor surgery, was out for 4 weeks, and so that gives you 3 guys, plus Montoya Madden is an outstanding running back, so they got 4 of them.
Stable.
This is Riddle. They put it in his stomach on this try. He'll have the first down and comes out across the 40 to the 46. Brad Ware, a true freshman out of Powder Springs, Georgia, the free safety, he gets him.
Well, Dennis Riddle, he's the nephew of Steeler NFL receiver John Stallworth. The more carries he gets, the better he gets. He's a tackle-to-tackle runner. He had 38 carries versus Tennessee earlier in the season for 184 yards, so it gives you an idea. And also, Ron, he's really the second leading receiver on this Alabama football team with 24 receptions, so he's an excellent pass receiver.
Freddie Kitchens moving his ball club tonight. Gives it to Riddle, and Auburn this time comes up big for the task. Brumbaugh gets outside to make the tackle on him.
Well, the maligned quarterback, Freddie Kitchens, everybody gets on the quarterback every now and then, but 19-43 against Auburn last year, 302 yards, had a great ball game, and looks like to me tonight he's out here to prove a point. Came out early, 2 passes, 2 little short passes, but I think he's out to prove a point to all the fans that he can throw the football and be successful doing it.
Alabama 7-0 as they scored in 4 plays on the opening drive. That's Riddle in motion toward the sideline. Deep over the middle. Got it. Marcel West inside the 25, and he's down to the 22 as Evans puts the top on him.
Well, see, I talked about earlier that Bill Oliver knew Alabama's players real well, but Alabama's coaches know Bill Oliver's defense, and they're sending a little motion and then sneaking Marcel West down the field against 2 deep coverage. It's number 9, Dan Evans, chasing him. Good throw by Freddie Kitchens. Alabama in good shape. But, Ron, you talk about knowing what Bill Oliver's going to do. Now, he'll change a few things, but Bill Oliver, Alabama knows what he's going to do tonight.
32 yards in the pass play to Marcel West. Riddle right up the middle. A couple of tough yards, and they're pushing back Brumbaugh and Neal, combining on the stop there.
Good mix early in this Alabama play calling. Good outside runs, inside runs, quick passing game. Hit Marcel West down the middle against 2 deep coverage, so pretty good play calling by Woody McCorvey.
Travis Smith comes into the lineup. Montoya Madden had been in for a play. Also checking in Shamari Buchanan, a freshman out of Atlanta, Georgia, who I think, Mike, is going to be the next big-name receiver for the Alabama Crimson Tide. He's a large kid. He will be out to the bottom of the screen. He wears number 84. Great speed. Auburn shows blitz. Here they come. Kitchen steps up, drills it, looked for Hape, his tight end. Did he catch it? Nope, the official says incomplete, and let's check in with Mike Tirico. Michael?
Ron, this McDonald's breakaway takes us to Tucson, while Arizona State holds up its end of the bargain. Ohio State did not. Jake Plummer up 14-7, 27 yards to Keith Poole. He beat Chris McAllister, who taunted, but is down 14.
Ooh, down 14, and probably should have gotten a personal foul there, should Arizona, with that late pop in the end zone. So the Sun Devils saying, nope, not this year. It's our year to shine. 7-0. Alabama, 3rd down. Line to make is the Auburn 12-yard line. Again, those linebackers creep up at the line of scrimmage. They stay at home for the run, and Riddle going to be wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. Jimmy Brumbaugh was not fooled, got by his blocker, and stops him after a gain of 1, and immediately the place-kicking team comes on.
Well, he injured his knee. He had a fiberglass knee brace on, and it actually broke the brace. And playing injured tonight, but he's the nose guard they need against John Causey, the center, to try to get penetration.
John Brock to attempt the field goal. This one from 37 yards, squarely in the middle of the field. Good pass. And he's good. Brock from 37 yards. Let's take a timeout. 9:30 left to go, opening quarter. All Bama.
To test their latest parka, Mother Gert Boyle, son Tim, head for the mountains. Columbia Sportswear, one tough mother.
Now, with 50% more tender filet than before, McDonald's new Fish Filet Deluxe is sure to satisfy your grown-up needs and desires. For lunch. It's McDonald's with a grown-up taste.
With the all-new Dodge Dakota, we offer a choice. A torquey Magnum 4 that is not the typical wimpy whiner, a serious high-output Magnum V6, and a real live Magnum V8. The only V8 in its class. 468. Now who do you appreciate? The new Dodge Dakota. It's full of surprises.
Here's my advice for young people. Don't take drugs. Take pictures. With cameras from Brits. 34 eyes, digital cameras. The advanced photo system. Say cheese with Ritz. And strawberry.
Ritz puts the blitz on prices. It's a Thanksgiving Day shootout as Bo Morgan leads Air Force to battle Billy Blanton in San Diego State. Thursday at 7, only on ESPN2.
As you look at the Alabama offensive line on the sideline, they have been mashing Auburn so far. 8 plays, 50 yards, 2 minutes, 52 seconds. The field goal of 37 yards, and Alabama is on top by a count of 10-0. We're not even midway through this opening quarter as William Watts will kick it off. Baker, the deep man, standing back at the 2-yard line. Hines Tucker picks it up out across the 30. It's going to be a 15-yard return.
Ron, Damian Craig's up against a solid defense in Alabama. They got 6 seniors, and you look at their ranking here. NCAA ranking, total yards 5th, rushing yards 8th, and they're only averaging giving up 10 first downs a ball game.
Movement on that offensive front. Kelvin Moore came across, but let's see if James came out of his stance, and that's what caused it.
You talk about a team ready to play. Now, this Alabama football team is sky high.
We have a dead ball foul. False start.
Mike, you know what this is reminding me of last year in this same ball game. You remember what happened? Patrick Nix got Alabama 6 times in the ball game with a hard count. He kept jumping offside. Well, tonight is Auburn who's stumbling out of the blocks a little bit, not totally in sync. Craig sets. Incomplete at the 48-yard line for Willie Gaucher. Fernando Bryant was covering.
You're right, Ron. What they did last year is they came out and gave a hard count. In other words, the quarterback go to the line of scrimmage, make a hard call, trying to draw the defense off sides. They did 8 times. But if they didn't draw them offside, then they went into a regular cadence and then called an automatic at the line of scrimmage. It was really well designed by Auburn. I think Alabama's practiced that all week.
Second down. 15 yards for the first down. Auburn looking for some semblance of offense in this early going. Cooper, Marquis tries to break the tackle of Paul Pickett. Nothing doing. Dwayne Rudd also there to help out. It's going to be third down and long, about 13 yards for the first.
And Ron, when you look at both these teams are coming off tough losses. Mississippi State for Alabama and Georgia for Auburn. And you really don't have a lot of choices. You can go jump off a bridge, or you can get hit by a truck, or you can get ready to play this ball game. And it looks like Alabama chose number 3 because they have really come out, fired up, ready to attack this Auburn offense.
Now the spot that they had given him, now it is 11 yards for the first down. And Craig in the shotgun, the only man in the backfield. 4 wideouts and Williams at the top of your screen. And now here comes the run. Flag is down. 30, 35, 40. 45 has the first down. But let's see what the marker is all about as Rudd brought him down. Holding Tigers.
Ron, when they go into this set where they have 5 receivers in the ball game and Damian Craig, now that's 87 right here. That's Dwayne Rudd, the linebacker. Now he's going to shadow Damian Craig. Now his responsibility is Damian Craig, but he got up too far inside, and then he runs inside to one of his players, but he finally makes the tackle. But that's his play right there, where he has to make the play if Damian Craig runs a draw or scrambles on that play.
The interesting thing about the formation is, as Mike mentioned, 4 wide receivers, but the guy at the distant top of your screen, the longest distance from the backfield out to the right, was Rusty Williams, number 3, the tailback. Third down and 22. Craig going to have to do something. Incomplete. Ralph Staten is the man who is coming after him.
They had a screen set up, and I think you're going to have a lineman downfield on this. Damian Craig sets the screen up. Ralph Staten with the pressure. They threw the football outside. I think they're going to have an illegal receiver downfield. Well, good pressure by Ralph Staten. Read the screen right from the play.
We have ineligible receiver downfield against the offense. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
See, Ron, when you run a screen, they make a call. Once the running back catches the football, he'll make a call go, but some of the linemen just got a little premature and got downfield too soon.
See the numbers on Holmes. Boy, he's got to kick Alabama out of field position because the Crimson Tide has had wonderful field position all night long. Goss is back deep. They needed a football. Then all of a sudden we got 2. So they had to discard one of those. 10-0. Alabama. 7:58 to play. Opening quarter.
He's to John Causey because he's the center for him most of the season.
Let's hate the tight end in motion. Kitchens, that's Brumbaugh all over him. Finally gets it away. Safety valve, and this is Sean Alexander. And he will wind up with positive yardage. I'm not sure how, but he's going to have 5 in the play. Quentin Reese finally put the stop on him. Quentin Reese is a good story. More and more playing time. The young linebacker, freshman.
Yeah, good decision again by Freddie Kitchens. You know, again, not flashy tonight. Didn't take the sack, but didn't throw the ball into the other team. But just found the safety valve, Sean Alexander, and got him the football and put himself in a position 3rd and short yardage.
Well, we're now under a minute to play in this opening quarter, which has been extremely long. We thought both of these teams would run a lot and this would be a quick football game. Not so. Alexander. Mike, does somebody have a whistle in the stands? I'm hearing a whistle. That's not the first play, because I thought I saw even some of the players looking around. Maybe it had been whistled down, but it had not. As Alabama picks up the first down. 17-3. Crimson Tide on top. And this coming up will probably be the final play of this opening quarter, as it looks like Causey is back into the ball game at center. Kitchens sacked. First time that Auburn has gotten to him tonight. Charles Dorsey and Mostella put the stop on him 2 seconds down to 1, and that is the end of the first quarter. So let's take a timeout. Alabama by 14 points. We'll be right back.
Tender grilled chicken, fresh lettuce and tomato, a bakery soft roll. McDonald's new grilled chicken deluxe is loaded with the stuff grown-ups love, inspiring a truly adult emotion, lust.
Ooh, baby.
It's McDonald's with a grown-up taste.
Jimmy, light up the cord and hit the radio, man.
Every day, car batteries are put to the test. And every day, one battery lives up to its name. Dial, tried and true.
When the unexpected happens, the all-new Dodge Dakota swings into action. Standard dual airbags help guard you from the front. High-strength steel door beams help shield you from the side, while the new front seats are designed to help protect you from the rear. When it came to building a safer truck, we considered all the angles. The new Dodge Dakota. It's full of surprises.
If it's hard finding the right gift for your children this holiday season, don't worry. Radio Shack has the gifts that'll grab your kids' attention. Radio Shack. You've got questions. We've got answers.
State Farm presents Rules of the Game.
We're talking about eligible receivers. In this play, number 3 is ineligible to catch a pass. Why?
You worry? You're overprotective? You're a parent. Isn't it nice to know that there's something almost effortless you can do to protect your family even more? Just ask your State Farm agent for a free family insurance checkup. It's a smart way for you to decide if your family's insurance coverage is up to date. So they'll be better protected. And maybe you'll worry a little less.
State Farm is there. Today we're talking about eligible receivers. In this play, number 3 is not eligible to catch a pass as he is not the widest man on the end of the line. 5-yard penalty and loss of down.
Rules of the Game has been brought to you by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
17-3 Alabama. And take a look at these first quarter numbers and maybe give you a better understanding of why they're up by 2 touchdowns over their cross-state rival. 193 yards in the first quarter alone.
And the time of possession's big, Ron. When you look at 4 minutes, 31 seconds for Auburn, only 1 first down. Remember now, Alabama's only averaging giving the other team 10 first downs in a ball game. They only had 1 in the first quarter.
From the 27. Draw play. Riddle hit with a nice ankle-high tackle. That's Brad Ware. And he'll stop him after a gain of about 3, close to 4. Now it's going to be 3rd down, and for Alabama, they need just over 10 to pick up the first down.
On Brad Ware, who made that tackle, he missed all 2 days, got homesick, and went home. And then coaches talked him into coming back. He missed all the preseason practice, but now he's in the starting lineup. Tells you what a good athlete he is. 6'2", 180, a freshman.
Well, let's see if the Crimson Tide can convert or if Auburn will get the stop. Pass right over the middle, got it. Riddle, but not enough for the first down as Ware is all over him. And it looks as though we're about to see the first Alabama punt of the night.
That's a good tackle by Brad Ware, the safety, getting Dennis Riddle coming out of the backfield.
Mike, as Stockton comes on to kick against LSU, he was at least... He was close to being most valuable player because he kept LSU in the hold all night long.
Without a doubt, Ron, field position in that ball game favored Alabama and put LSU in a lot of difficulty.
Robert Baker back deep, catches it and loses it out of bounds inside the 20-yard line. So it's going to be 45 yards in the kick, nothing on the return. And let's see where they're spotting. Back at the 17. Well, here's Ralph Staten coming back out on the field, and what a first quarter he had.
Ron, he made 2 big plays in this ball game, and this tackle on Rusty Williams, you look for championship plays. I said it earlier, the guy to come up big, and he saved a touchdown. Why that's big? You save the touchdown, you force him into a field goal. Then pressuring Damian Craig. Played against him in high school, didn't beat him. He said, I got revenge on my mind. I want to beat him in this ball game tonight.
Well, he has contributed greatly. Craig from the shotgun gets his pass complete to Baker and run out of bounds immediately by Deshae Townsend. First completion now for Damian Craig at the 13:28 mark of the first half, Mike.
Damian Craig, they're trying to roll him out a little bit now to get him away from the pressure of the Alabama defensive line. Ron, we've seen a lot of good. 1 out of 7, 4 yards. We've seen a lot of good secondaries. This Alabama secondary rates up with all of them that I've seen this year. Solid.
Alabama shows blitz. They stay at home, actually. Craig runs away from the pressure, back into the middle of the field, and then, boy, does he pay. Ozell Powell from behind, the big 295-pound senior from Greenville.
That's why you want to keep Damian Craig in the pocket, because he's 6 foot tall. You want to keep him in that pocket throwing that football. You don't want him outside the tackle box. Keep him inside the tackle area, and then you can control him a little bit better. But once he gets outside, now he looks like he's going to run the ball all the way. Good moves. He becomes a running back. Now pointing for the block. Needs the block and picking up the first down. Dangerous when he gets outside the tackle box.
You're right. Back-to-back first downs for Auburn, though. Here comes the blitz from Alabama. The running play. Not much there. Look who's got a hold of him. Number 41, Ralph Staten. Well, there's more college football on ABC Sports Friday at 11 a.m. Texas A&M at Texas, followed by number 6 Colorado and number 5 Nebraska at 2:30. The next Saturday at noon, number 1 Florida against number 3 Florida State, and at 8 o'clock, number 10 Notre Dame is at Southern California.
Ron, it looks like Auburn has regained their confidence a little bit in these last couple series. Is that they can avoid a turnover here and just keep moving the ball. That's what Terry Bowden wants to do right now. Not make any big mistakes.
See the blitz coming right up the middle. Craig runs away from it, and the ball almost intercepted. Yes, he got it. Intercepted. 25 for Nando Bryant. And Craig just threw it right to him.
That's what I was just saying. Oh, you want to keep the momentum that you've gained a little bit. You stop Alabama. You got a field goal. Then you come back. You just don't want to make a big mistake. Dwayne Rudd, number 87, pressure on Damian Craig. You'll see Damian Craig coming outside. There's the pressure by Dwayne Rudd. He threw the football, and he just threw a bad pass. Fernando Bryant was all over that interception.
Did he have possession of that ball?
According to the striped shirts, he did.
I know that. First down. Counter play is Riddle. Got a blocker in front. Tries to bounce it outside, and it's a nice tackle on him at the 30. You got to get his legs out from under him. Nolan did it, and it's going to be a gain of 6 on the play. 17-3 is how we stand as the clock runs down, about to go under 11 minutes until halftime.
And Ron, you talked about whether he had possession or not. I said the official said he did, but it didn't look like he really did catch that football. Now here we're going to take another look at it. Damian Craig rolling out. Now he's going to throw the ball to Fernando Bryant. Let's see.
Whoops.
Nope. Didn't have it.
Pate, the tight end, resets on the right. Counter play. Riddle. We're going to have him after a couple, and Mike Tirico.
Ron, Clemson at one point led 17-13. South Carolina over on the Deuce has ripped off 21 consecutive points. Troy Hambrick, the freshman tailback, he's also over 100 yards like Deuce Staley. Looks like for the 6th straight year, the road team is going to win the Clemson-South Carolina game.
Ron, and South Carolina's playing for a bowl bid. They had to win this football game. There's talk the Independence Bowl is a possibility for them at 6-5.
Brett Scott's doing a good job over there.
Really is. Recruiting very well. He's got a very good young football team.
Well, now Sean Alexander puts the head down. You can see 47. Mostella is there to hit him. There is a marker down at the 29 as they were stopped short on the third down play.
Where that flag is thrown, it may be offside on Auburn. Well, looks like it's going to be on Alabama. Terry Bowden getting word. The captain looks over the sideline to decline this penalty.
We have an illegal formation against the offense. Not enough men on the line of scrimmage. That penalty is declined. Fourth down.
And that's why, Ron. The side judge usually, when that flag comes from that area, it's usually offside, but they caught him in an illegal formation. Not enough people in the line of scrimmage. Now, Terry Bowden made a decision not to take the penalty, which I think is the right decision. But Alabama now going to try to convert this fourth down play.
They're going to go for it. 37. Sean Alexander lines up at tailback. Kitchens under center. Sean Alexander tripped over his fullback. He tripped over his blocking back, who was Smith. Went right over his ankles.
So Terry Bowden made the right call. He turned down the penalty. He got him in a fourth down situation and caused the ball to go in the other direction. Sean Alexander, 37. That's a good play by Auburn, stacking up. That Travis Smith, the fullback, didn't allow him to get down the field. Takeo spikes on the play.
So if you talk about what the doctor ordered, this is exactly what the Auburn Tigers needed to get back in this. They're down 2 touchdowns. Now they stop them, get the ball back.
And the turnover did not hurt them. The interception that Damian Craig threw did not hurt them. Talked about early what might be going through his mind tonight. The first time he's really the starting quarterback in this rivalry football game. Grew up in Alabama, knows the extent of this rivalry. Talked to us last night about the importance of the game, how he was feeling, but looked to me like he was fairly confident last night, not nervous.
Well, we had a little delay in the ball game there. There was a sideline warning against Alabama, so they had moved everybody back. Counter play. Williams gets it outside, has 5, has 10, and that will be not only enough for the first down, but counted off at about 12 yards. Cedric Samuel defensively.
Good call by Tommy Bowden, the offensive coordinator, getting a counter play to try to slow down the speed of Alabama. They're so quick, the linebackers, that the counter play does slow them down a little bit. And Rusty Williams, a freshman tailback's been impressive.
Now there's Tommy Bowden, the offensive coordinator, who of course is upstairs, and he told me last night as well. He said, you know, it's hard to duplicate on the field as far as practicing how quick Alabama is. It may take us a while. Craig running for his life, broke the tackle. Finally is going to wind up with a gain of maybe 2 on the play, and sheer athletic ability got that as Rudd stopped him.
Well, the athletic ability of Damian Craig, but he's also going against a defense that can run. The linebackers of Alabama, Staten, Buckner, and Rudd, are all very quick, and they recover very well. Wayne Rudd makes the tackle. Good athletic ability by Damian Craig.
Quick pass, knocked away, very dangerous. Deshae Towns working against Robert Baker.
Well, he thought he had the quick game on that side. He checked off to the quick game. Now, if Deshae Townsend comes up in a bump and run type of technique where he's right in front of him, then you throw the fade. But he came off of him before the snap, and he thought he could throw the quick game. But Deshae Townsend just sat on the 5-yard pass pattern. So, again, when you look at every tape that a team has, and Alabama and Auburn look at each tape you kind of get down maybe some automatics that they like, and you can bait them into some things.
You could see John Cooley a moment ago, number 15, signaling in the plays from the sideline. There's the fade right there. Baker got it. Bailey, Karsten Bailey, and he'll score from 58 yards.
Ron, credit Terry Bowden. He didn't let this football game get away from him. You know, in this ball game, when you look, and we just talked about some fades, he tried to throw the quick game. The other side came back, and he did have bump and run to the short side of the field, and that was a beautiful thrown ball.
Perfect.
To Karsten Bailey by Damian Craig.
Absolutely perfect. Holmes with the extra point attempt is good, and as we go to break, all of a sudden, we've got a 7-point ball game. Damian Craig puts up the fade. Karsten Bailey runs under it. 57 yards officially.
Don't let a new truck payment stretch you to the limit. Call 1-800-32-SMART about Smart Lease by GMAC. It keeps new vehicles well within reach. Don't let a new car payment get you all wound up. Call 1-800-32-SMART about Smart Lease by GMAC. It can put a new spin on affordability.
I'll buy 10 of these. You're Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders? It's him. You're the greatest, man. Mind if I get a picture? Thanks, bro. You mind if I write a check? Sure, Deion. I'm just going to need to see some ID.
Say what?
Yes, like driver's license, a library card.
Checks. What a pain.
Your license? Employee ID.
But now there's a better way. The Visa Check Card. It's an ATM card with a Visa logo that deducts from your checking account automatically everywhere Visa's accepted.
I'm going to have to call to see if you can cover this.
The Visa Check Card works just like a check, only better.
Up here, I feel like traffic is miles away.
With Yukon's commanding view and accommodating size,
unlike some others, I have virtually unlimited capacity.
Yukon can make you feel invincible. Yukon by GMC. It puts you comfortably in command.
ESPN's coverage of Saturday primetime is brought to you by GMC, putting you comfortably in command, and by Burger King, where you can get your burger's worth. Well, we're back as you look at the Capacity House here at Legion Field in Birmingham, Alabama. And, Mike, we always talk about what a rivalry, and this game very rarely disappoints, and Auburn comes storming back. In fact, an interesting number. They have 134 yards in this game. They have 119 of them on 2 plays. This is West. This is what it sounded like on the Auburn sideline on that touchdown pass just a moment ago. Let's listen.
Oh, he's got it. Oh, I just over. Oh, he caught it. Perfect. Perfect. Great throw back. You ain't lying. Great throw there on the half. You had to.
So you could hear the exuberance upstairs in the booth with Tommy Bowden and, of course, Terry Bowden on the sideline. You're hearing the audio of both on that. As you look at Damian, 4 plays, 71 yards, a minute, and 30 seconds used.
Well, Terry thought it was going to be too far. The throw was going to be too long, but it worked out perfect to Bailey.
Draw play. Riddle's going to have 4. That's Martavius Houston, the sophomore out of Vallejo Lakes down in Florida.
When Alabama has had success offensively, they mix the pass. Freddie Kitchens off to a real good start. And in the last couple of series, they've stopped the running game of Alabama a little bit, slowed it down, but they've got to go back to Freddie Kitchens throwing a little short passing game.
And ultimately, what Auburn expected Gene Stallings to do is just like a prize fighter and just slug it out. Keep it on the ground and run. Well, confusion here. Going to run it whether he wanted to or not. And Kitchens is going to have about 3. Ricky Neal will make the tackle. Ricky went one.
You were talking about prize fight, you know, and then Alabama came out and we talked about they were knocking them all over the ring, and all of a sudden they've got on their feet again at Auburn, and they made this a football game because they didn't go down. They didn't lose their poise, they didn't lose their confidence, and they've hung in there with Alabama. Now Alabama's a little shaky. Freddie Kitchens going the wrong way on that play.
So the first quarter belonged to Alabama, and right now Auburn is trying to right itself and say, hey, we own the second quarter. They're down by only 7. Kitchens on third down. Right over the middle, he has got him open. Vaughn with the first down all the way to the 43-yard line. Vaughn, who has a touchdown in tonight's ball game, officially 17.
Well, he came into the game as the leading receiver with 28 receptions. He's 6'3" and 207 pounds, runs a 4.5 40. So he can make things happen after the catch. Little short route again. Safe route for Freddie Kitchens. Found him over the middle. Michael Vaughn, big play. But that's what they do best. Little short passing game, mix it up with the run, and Alabama's on the track.
Michael Vaughn in motion, back against the line of scrimmage. But it's Riddle, right side. Close to 10 yards on the play. He's going to be across midfield. Spikes and Ricky Neal combining to make the stop. Not surprised, are you, that they have gone back to the bread and butter and just running the football?
No, they just need a little bit more mix than they had the last couple series. But when you look at Freddie Kitchens, he made an interesting point. He said, you know, I can throw for all kind of numbers and that, but he said, look at Jay Barker. He threw for 18 yards in the national championship game. He said he didn't want a lot of yards. He wanted the ring.
Mike, injured player is Spikes. Takeo Spikes, sophomore out of Sandersville, Georgia, I should say. And the injuries have just been devastating to Auburn this year. Look at this. Nate Smith, defensive end, out for the season with a knee. Settle, out for the season. Mark Smith, one play the last 3 games. And you know how much we talked about Spikes tonight. What a leader he is emotionally. And, boy, they really can't lose him.
Well, he talked about Bill Oliver last night to Keo Spikes. He said he wants it bad, and we're going to do everything we can to get this win for him. But Takeo Spikes almost transferred out of Auburn after Wayne Hall was released as defensive coordinator, but his mother talked him into staying here.
Let's check in with Mike Tirico. Mike, what do you have for us?
All right, Ron, that Clemson-South Carolina game just will not end, and it's closer after scoring 21 straight. South Carolina has watched Clemson score 2 straight touchdowns. Daylon Green rolling, finding Raymond Priester. He gets in. It's a 3-point game on the deuce.
Now, how about this shot right here? The Budweiser blimp overhead, and it is a gorgeous night as you look at part of the capacity crowd, and we're glad to report, and you can see Spikes coming off the field under his own power. By the way, the best seat in the house tonight, well, is inside that Bud 1 airship flying overhead to bring us these beautiful shots like the one you saw just a moment ago. As we mentioned, the full moon this evening, they have got a terrific evening for flying. Under 6 minutes to play in the first half. Riddle, 5, has 10, he's loose. Inside the 25, Martavius Houston will put the stop on him.
Looked like to me the middle guard was looping to the left side. Just got up too far upfield, that's all it was. Good block by Travis Smith, the fullback, springing Dennis Riddle in the backfield.
Plus,
in the secondary.
Brad Ware had a shot at him and missed him. Will Friend with a good block, number 68, the junior out of Philadelphia, Mississippi, the left guard. Well, Riddle going to come back to this side. Nothing doing. That's a nice job. Loses the football, and Spikes is on it. Nope. Taken away by one of his teammates, but it's Auburn football. Looks as though Mostella finally made the recovery. You could see 55 Spikes going on it, and then it was taken away, but it was his teammate that took it away from him.
Turnovers will kill you. You just can't make these mistakes. Dennis Riddle Got that football out a little bit too far, but again, good job by Mostello of trying to rip the ball away, and Brad Ware, number 27.
Bill Oliver's defense leading the SEC in takeaways. One of the things he said last night when we visited is he said Auburn's got to have some of those to be successful in this ball game tonight. Craig to throw on first down. Going to go long. And almost intercepted by Jackson, and then almost caught by Bailey. Interesting set of occurrences there.
Well, sometimes when you have a turnover, the other coaching staff feels like that's a great time to try to get a bundle back, because you got a change of possession, you got a sudden change situation. Damian Craig with a play-action pass tried to go to Karsten Bailey deep, but Kevin Jackson was in pretty good shape, free safety. He ran it all the way.
On the sideline, the teammates coming over to pat Riddle on the back and say everything's fine. He almost looked like he squeezed down too hard on that ball to make sure he wasn't going to fumble. Rusty Williams hit by Pickett. And now Auburn with a third down. They need the 30-yard line. And let's see where they're going to spot this around the 22. Big one right here, because Alabama would love to get it back just before halftime and put something else in the storage bin.
What's hurt Alabama's defense is the big play. Auburn, Rusty Williams' big long run and Bailey's big pass reception.
A moment ago, they only had 134 yards and 119 on 2 plays.
Yeah, 2 plays have really hurt the Alabama defense. They've been consistently stopping Auburn's offense.
Pass caught. That is a nice job for the first down up at the 37. Willie Gaucher. And last night, we talked with Damian Craig. When I mentioned Willie Gaucher, he missed the first 4 games because of the NCAA. They couldn't figure out if he was eligible or not. There's a real comfort zone here, and Damian just kind of beamed. He's excited to have him back.
Well, what happened to Willie Gaucher is he missed 2.5 weeks of class because his aunt was sick with cancer, and he was going back and forth to Troy to visit her, and he missed classes, and he came up about a real short point average of not being progress rule. So
that's Gaucher again, Mike, on the reception.
So Dave Didion, who's the compliance officer at Auburn and former NCAA investigator, he wrote the NCAA and appealed it, but it took 6 weeks for him to appeal to grant the appeal. But Willie Gaucher's back in the lineup now, and a big help for Damian Craig.
Well, the reason he is, last year he was the leading receiver on this Auburn football team. As a flag comes down, and it looked like Victor Riley came up out of his stance before the ball was snapped.
And you talked about Willie Gaucher.
False start against the offense, movement in the line prior to the snap, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
And Ron, Damian Craig made the statement last night, I know where he is on every route, so he does have confidence in Willie Gaucher.
Willie, a junior out of Fort Walton, Florida, 6'1", 168 pounds. And as we said last year, the leading receiver for Auburn. Craig with an audible this time. You can see Dwayne Rudd, number 87, standing up in the middle. He may be calling the defensive audible. Craig wheels it. He just throws this one away. And Mike Tirico, let's check with you one more time.
The Apple Cup is being controlled by Washington, leading Washington State big. But one of the bigger stories, Corey Dillon, 3 touchdowns tonight, 22 on the season. That equals the Pac-10 record of Marcus Allen and O.J. Simpson. Huskies by 24.
Ooh, acting like a big dog tonight. 24-0 over the arch rival. Craig, all the time in the world, he's overthrown this one as well. Goodson is the man that he wanted. Now then, he's going to bring up a third down. Mike, that stopped the clock. There's 3:29 left. If Alabama can get a stop, they got plenty of time to mount their own drive.
And they burned a couple timeouts, so they've only got 1 timeout left. But Ron, that play just took too long for Damian Craig. He waited too long to try to get the ball out there. But good coverage by Alabama's secondary.
Craig hit from behind, almost intercepted. Dwayne Rudd, after the quarterback was hit by Kelvin Moore, Rudd had a touchdown and he dropped it.
When you spread those formations out, you better block, because Kelvin Moore is coming in and he hit Damian Craig in the back. Almost caused an interception.
Holmes will be kicking it away to Goss. Coming after him up the middle, but he gets his kick away. It's away from Goss, and this is a good kick for Auburn. Inside the 10, and it's been touched dead around the 5-yard line. That is a 51-yard kick. Let's take a timeout, and as we go to break, look at the pressure on Craig. Being hit from behind by Kelvin Moore.
With Sierra's strength and exceptional power, life's daily obstacles are easily handled. But with Sierra's third door, you will have one less hurdle to overcome. Sierra by GMC, putting you comfortably in command.
And Vandy hook up in Nashville. Tennessee Vanderbilt. Next Saturday at 6, only on ESPN.
Through its $1 million scholarship program, Burger King donates $100,000 per week in the name of scholar athletes whose achievements go beyond the field in all NCAA divisions. Tonight's students of the game from Auburn strong safety Alan Brown. He's a political science major with a 3.25 GPA. And from Alabama, tight end Clint Wagner. He's a nursing major with a 3.89 GPA.
Ron, I love those Burger King commercials where they do the fight songs.
Yeah.
That makes you go to Burger King, right?
There's one they're going to have to change. The little guy from South Bend, right? Straight ahead with a running play, 3, maybe 4 yards. Mike Tirico, let's go back to you.
All right, Ron, coming up at halftime for fans in Columbus, the sad story of what happened in the old horseshoe on the banks of the Olentangy. For the fans in the desert, will this be the night that Arizona State completes the perfect season? And all the rivalries taking the headlines, but let's not forget the great rushing race. All coming up at halftime.
Okay, Michael. Clock runs here at Legion Field, 2 minutes and 40 seconds until halftime. Alabama with a 1-touchdown lead after Alabama had dominated the opening quarter. And now Auburn has come back to cut it to 7. Kitchens sets deep, right over the middle, picked off. Ware at the 20, at the 10. And we can be tied with an extra point. .34 yards on the return.
Ron, Brad Ware sat in center field and watched Freddie Kitchens' eyes of where he was going to deliver that football, and he had a great break on that ball for that interception. It looked like to Freddie Kitchens it was open, but to Brad Ware, he was right on top of it.
Holmes with the extra point, and with 2:16 left until halftime, we are tied at 17.
Tired of heavy meals? Try Subway. fresh baked bread, fresh meats, fresh veggies, and plenty of 6-inch subs with just 6 grams of fat or less. Subway. Big on taste, not on fat.
Hi, folks. This is Bob Williams. I'm here today to talk about new cars. We've got a great selection of these right now, all the way from the Dodge Neon, all the way up to the Chrysler LHS. We've got rebates on all of these new cars right now, starting out at $1,000 on the Neon, going all the way up to $3,000 on the LHS. We've got a good selection of these. It's time to move them out. It's year end. So come on out and test drive it. Bob Williams Dodge, 2500 New Calhoun Road, Rome, Georgia.
In the McGinty household, there is much pressure to succeed. But it's not all work. In the summers, the family visits national parks, like Lambeau Field, Irving's Texas Stadium, and venerable Shea Stadium.
There sure were a lot of good times growing up.
Yeah,
right. Hey, Dad, how come you never took us to Disney World?
Who plays there?
On the way back to Birmingham, wild finish in Death Valley. Clemson rallies from down 17 with 7:16 left. This field goal would have tied, but the freshman Matt Padgett misses. South Carolina survives by 3. Ron and Mike.
Wow. Back here at Legion Field. I mean, they are standing, they are cheering, and quite frankly, the folks from Alabama kind of in shock how quickly this has happened because they were dominating this football game. We're tied at 17. Marcel West at the 1. Loses the football. Scramble at the 20-yard line. Auburn has recovered.
Alabama just self-destructing, but let's look back at the touchdown play. Brad Ware, the safety. Here he is right here now. He's going to work back into the back pedal in the middle of the field. He's going to read Freddie Kitchens' eyes. Now he's going to try to hit Dennis Riddle. Stop it right here. Stop it. Now there's Dennis Riddle, and he's open, but watch the break of the football on the football by Brad Ware for the interception. Excellent break. Freddie Kitchens threw it too far in the middle of the field. Brad Ware with the interception and a touchdown, and then another turnover. Ron right here. Auburn in great field position.
Well, they have it at the Alabama 20-yard line. 2:08 left until halftime. And they come with a reverse. Baker inside the 15, and he's down to the 13. It's Kevin Jackson on the stop.
Here's the turnover on the kickoff. Marcel West, number 1, drops the football. Auburn with great field position here now inside the 15-yard line.
The Tigers pick up 7 yards on that last play, so that it's a 2nd down and short. The ball just outside the 13. Alabama creeps up the linebackers and the safety. They go with the running play, and that's a nice job by Samuel. If he doesn't make the tackle on Beasley, he's gone for the end zone.
Well, that's what you're going to face when you face Alabama. The safeties are so tight up in your offensive situation. Kevin Jackson, Cedric Samuel sit about 6-7 yards deep and read run, and then when the ball was handed off to Fred Beasley, Samuel was right in the backfield.
Well, we got a timeout, Auburn, and we'll hold it right here. Let's go back to the interception and the touchdown just a moment ago. Here is the audio on the sideline and Coach Bowden what had happened.
Go Chiefs! Yeah! Yeah! Go score, Brad! Yeah! Score! Touchdown!
So the audio just a moment ago from the Auburn coaches booth down to the field. And as I mentioned, as you look at it one more time.
He threw the ball too far to the inside, trying to get Dennis Riddle down the field. Brad Ware sitting right there for the interception, had a good break, and then made a good run after.
Mike, it's also the kind of pass that if you put air under it and let him run under it, there's no way that the defensive back could have gotten over there to him. Let's check in with Kellen Winslow. Kellen.
Oh, Ron and Mike, you're talking about that pass. It was really thrown too late, in my opinion. That's a pass he has to throw as soon as he clears that inside guy. Back up for you guys.
Auburn tries to get the play away quickly. Flags all over the place, and Craig gets knocked down by Staten. I'm not sure they were set for the snap. They were trying to do a hurry up and catch Alabama before they were set.
Well, they didn't catch him because Alabama was ready for that.
False start against the offense. Moving in the line before
that's big. That penalty right there. 3rd and short. Now you're back sitting about 3rd and 7. But Kellen Winslow, going back to what Kellen said, he's right on that play. Freddie Kitchens need to throw that ball a little bit quicker because Dennis Riddle was behind the linebacker and the safety's in center field. The longer you wait to throw that ball, the more break that the safety's going to get.
Third down, the line to make is the 10. We got 65 seconds left until halftime. Staten with a blitz right over the middle. Pass is complete. Nope, incomplete at the 11. Baker dropped it after Bryant hit him.
You have to come up big defensively when you have a turnover and you get the ball inside your 20-yard line. You have got to hold them out of the end zone. Ralph Staten again with another big play, Ron.
He has really had an outstanding game. Auburn trying to break the tie. Mike, this will be a 34-yard attempt from the far hash mark. Good pass, plenty of distance, and Auburn has gone in front. That's 10 points off turnovers for the Auburn Tigers.
The big concern you have to have if Eugene Stallings right now is Freddie Kitchens' mental psyche right now, because in the last week ball game against Mississippi State, he threw an interception and he pulled him out. He brought in Warren Faust, and of course Warren Faust struggled a little bit, and then Freddie Kitchens came back in. But if Gene Stallings will get his arm around Freddie Kitchens at halftime and tell him, say, you got to help us win this football game, he'll calm him down and come out in the second half with the same kind of game plan they started with. But it's going to be important at halftime to get Freddie Kitchens and tell him that you're still with him and he's still your quarterback.
Auburn 20-17, and as we mentioned, 10 of those points coming off turnovers. 52 seconds until halftime. Line drive kickoff. Taken at the 5 by Vaughn. Michael at the 25, 30 at the far sideline and is pushed out of bounds. They're going to say at the 33-yard line. ESPN2 has the best in college football next week at 12:30. An SEC battle. Mississippi State taking on arch rival Ole Miss. Then at 3:30, Marcus Crandall and East Carolina battle North Carolina State. All on the Deuce next week. Now, as we mentioned, Alabama owned the first quarter, and then Auburn has come on to score 17 unanswered in the second quarter. Sean Alexander in motion to the top of your screen. Kitchens drills it, has it complete across midfield. That's Calvin Hall who came back for it, and it'll stop the clock with 35 seconds, a 19-yard play.
That may have been the most important play in this football game for Alabama, because Freddie Kitchens knows there is confidence in him to come right back and throw the football with 48 seconds to go in the half. He's looking for the target on the right side, came off his first read, now finding Calvin Hall on the sideline. A big play for the psyche of Freddie Kitchens.
Goss comes into the lineup at wide receiver. Gene Stallings looks on with his team first down at the Auburn 48. Kitchens under pressure, gets it away. Smith inside the 40, going to be knocked down at around the 38-yard line. Brad Ware defensively, and the officials say keep it rolling, and now Alabama calls a timeout. That should be their last. Coming up at halftime, the GMAC halftime report. The classic rivalries today. USC, you are out, and a farewell at South Bend for Lou.
Ron, you mentioned Alabama's out of timeouts. They had to spend a couple early. Freddie Kitchens one time, clock was running down. He had to make the call to save the penalty. Then the defense got, they had a 5-receiver set, Auburn, and the defense needed to call a timeout for Alabama. So now they're out of timeout. So again, a good smart throw here by Freddie Kitchens.
You could see Woody McCorvey, who is the offensive coordinator, standing on the sideline there, visiting with Gene Stallings and the rest of the offensive players. Mike, do you go to the end zone on this play, or do you try to do something to set it up and get it out of bounds?
No, you still have 21 seconds, and you got second and short. You still throw the football. If you pick up the first down, then just no huddle, and you're right back at the line of scrimmage. You can you got a chance here to get 3, 4, 5 plays even off if you do it correctly.
It's interesting. On Thursday night, we were over in Tuscaloosa, and I asked Coach Stallings. I said something about you got control of your destiny here as far as, you know, the playoff game in the SEC, and he said we've all had control of our destiny since September. Gene always very much a realist. Kitchens right over the middle, incomplete as he zinged that one through the hands of Riddle, the intended receiver, and now 15 seconds left.
15 seconds left and a half.
Alabama players looking on, thinking, wow, we had a rush going early, and now Auburn grabbed the momentum and headed the other direction in the second half. But that's what you expect and what we always expect to get in this rivalry here. Kitchens, pressure from the backside, and they're going to get him. That was Carson, who was relentless. Sacked him. That's the second time.
Now, you can't take a sack in that situation. You got to throw the ball away.
1 second, and it is halftime. That's the end of the first half with our score. Auburn 20 and Alabama 17. Now let's join Mike Tirico with the GMAC halftime report.
Exhale, guys. Was that a whole game, or was that just a half? What a wild first half, and the second half coming up from Birmingham. Coming up now, it is the GMAC halftime report. Rivalry weekend absolutely lived up to advanced billing. The national championship picture changed. There may be an injury to affect next week's Florida State game as well. We'll show you the highlights, have all the scores, and Chris, Lee, and Kirk have some company. People who didn't want to open up their wallets for the tickets to get into Legion Field. Plenty coming up. Don't touch the remote. At the break, Tigers by 3.
20-17, our score at halftime. And Mike Godfrey, have you ever seen two quarters as opposite as those were in the first half?
Oh, really? Alabama owned the first quarter, Auburn the second quarter. There's a big play right here. Brad Ware, safety, sitting in center field, reading the eyes of Freddie Kitchens. Freddie Kitchens a little late throwing this football and then just threw it inside too far. Brad Ware with the interception.
Well, as he takes it to the end zone, Mike, this is what it sounded like on the Auburn sideline and upstairs in the Auburn coach's booth.
Go, Chiefs! Yeah! Yeah! Go score, Brian! Yeah! Go! Touchdown!
So we're back to live action. Freddie Kitchens on the sideline. Auburn will be receiving as they won the toss and deferred to start tonight's ball game. William Watts will kick it off. This is going to be a short kick taken at the 12-yard line by Morrow. And he is around the 25-yard line. Here are the numbers on that first half, Mike. 293 yards for Alabama, but majority of those came in the first quarter.
Yeah, the big plays in the first quarter. They controlled the clock. They had 12 first downs to 6, 293 total yards, but Auburn with 2 big plays.
Well, let's see if the Tigers can maintain the momentum that they grabbed away in the second quarter. Craig pumps. He wants to go on top on his first play. It is incomplete down at the 30-yard line. Robert Baker is the guy that they were going for. Deshae Townsend with the cover, and they went home run on the first play.
Another ball that was thrown too late and too long by Damian Craig. Just too much air under this football. Good coverage by Deshae Townsend. Ron, here's where I expect. Now, you made a point early in the ball game about the overtime games at Georgia. You thought maybe they'd tire Auburn out a little bit. And I made a point early about 29 seniors, 6 seniors on this Alabama defense. So I'd expect the Alabama defense to pick it up a step.
Crimson Tide shows blitz. Running play. There is nothing there. So all of a sudden it's going to be a 3rd down and long as Chris Hood, one of the first men there, to make the hit.
Auburn's defense got the turnover for Alabama. The kickoff team got the turnover. Alabama's defense needs to do the same thing for their offense to give them good field position.
10 points off takeaways in the first half for the Auburn Tigers. They were very opportunistic. Right now they need the 35-yard line to keep this drive going. Craig from the shotgun. Lofts it over the middle. Got a man open. Goodson inside the 40, and he's down to the 37-yard line as Samuel made the tackle. 37 yards in the play, and on a 3rd and long, an obvious passing situation. I'm surprised they got that on this secondary.
Well, they were able to spread the field again with 4 wide receivers. Tyrone Goodson, number 83, just splits the safety. Cedric Samuel there in coverage, and also Kelvin Ziegler. Fade on the short side of the field if he wants it.
And he's going to throw, and that's what he puts up. Little too long. Bailey is the guy that he wanted, and that was Bryant on the cover, number 25.
Ron, when you look over there, Damian Craig made that check off. He hit a fade early in the ball game. Now all of a sudden he looks over the side and he sees the coverage that he wants right there. So now you get the fade on the outside by Karsten Bailey, number 5. That's a difficult pass to throw. Now this is the pass that they hit earlier to Tyrone Goodson.
Second and 10. Here comes the blitz up the middle. Pass incomplete as he just got it away as quickly as possible to Goodson. See pressure coming. Also 95, Kelvin Moore.
Well, you can see the strategy here in the second quarter, or second half unfolding, that Terry Bowden is going more to 4 wide receivers in the second half. He wants to start this ball game, speed up the tempo a little bit on Alabama.
Third down. The line that they need is the 27 of Alabama. Craig blitz right up the middle, also for the outside, the pressure, and it is caught inside the 30-yard line by Karsten Bailey. Bryant with the cover. Now he's got to be short, I believe. Well, let's see where they're going to spot it here. 27.5. They're about a yard shy.
When you spread out the defense with 5 receivers in the ball game and the blitz is on, you've got man coverage all the way. That's Fernando Bryant letting Karsten Bailey get inside underneath him. You can't do that, Ron. He's got to keep him outside. Got to try to make contact with him and not allow him inside.
It is 4th down. Auburn will go for it. They need to take the ball just inside that 27-yard line. Quick count. Pitch comes to Beasley, and he'll have the first down, I believe. Yep, just outside the 25 as Kelvin Moore puts the stop on him.
Fred Beasley played fullback last year for Auburn. They told him, if you play fullback this year, we'll move you and give you a chance at tailback. next year, and he's played a lot of tailback, but they've also interchanged him, played him at fullback position also.
Auburn Tigers, now all of a sudden they've got this thing is in their rhythm. They've got it going their way. Williams. Rusty inside the 20s down to the 19. Cedric Samuel on the stop.
When they're blocking, they're handling the defensive front of Alabama right now. The Auburn offensive line, Victor Riley, Geno James, James Kiger, Leonard Thomas, Jim Rowe, the offensive line, they picked up the blitz. They're able to get Rusty Williams in the secondary.
Williams to the right side. Gets a block. Going to be wrapped up. He's close to the first down. It's Samuel who came up and got him, but he fell forward in the vicinity of the 17, maybe the 16-yard line, which is what he needed.
The safeties are sitting up so tight for Alabama. You see both safeties right here, and they'll both come up strong on the run action. That's Cedric Samuel, number 7, just sitting right in the hole, making the play. Tough to block him.
Third down and short. Pitch, Beasley hit in the backfield. He's not going to have it. The Auburn first down. Chris Hood, the sophomore out of Town Creek, is the man who did the play.
And you're exactly right. But Ralph Staten, number 41, got penetration on the blitz again. They brought him up inside. He got penetration on the play and never allowed that play to get started.
Fourth down. They need about now 2.5 yards as the ball has been marked just outside the 18. They look to the bench, and now we see the field goal team trotting on. Jared Holmes will attempt a field goal. In fact, they're going to have to hurry so they don't get a 5-yard penalty. 34-yard attempt from the far hash mark. Just got it away, kicked plenty long, and he's good. I mean, the play clock had gone to 1. The ball was snapped, went to 0, and he got it away. Timeout on the field, our new score. Auburn on top by 6.
If we don't dream of doing more, won't we just end up doing more of the same?
The Chrysler Sebring convertible and coupe. Computer-controlled multi-valve engine, speed-sensitive steering, race-inspired suspension, an actual back seat. The Chrysler Sebring convertible and coupe. It's what happens when you spend a little more time dreaming.
FedEx uses over 500 airplanes to handle your 2-day package. Cost about $8.
UPS uses over 500 airplanes to handle your 2-day package. Cost about $6.
The U.S. Postal Service uses over 15,000 airplanes to handle your priority mail 2- to 3-day package. Cost $3.
So, 8, 6, 3, what's your priority? Priority mail from the U.S. Postal Service.
Introducing McDonald's Deluxe Sandwiches. They're new, they're big, with fresh toppings and a bakery soft roll. The average adult has over 8,000 taste buds. Get ready to use them all. It's McDonald's with a grown-up taste.
ESPN's coverage of Saturday Primetime is brought to you by Chrysler, exploring the new frontiers of automotive technology. What's new in your world? And by Priority Mail from the U.S. Postal Service.
Man in motion right. Here's Stabler, keeping himself. Stabler now cuts in. He's at the 40-yard line. He's at the 30. He's at the 20. He's at the 10. He's at the 5. He scores. Jimmy Stabler takes it in.
1967, trailing 3-0. Bama quarterback Kent Stabler slopped through the mud with a game-winning 47-yard touchdown to give Alabama a 7-3 win. A memorable moment in Iron Bowl history. This one out of the back of the end zone, and Kellen Winslow, let's check with you.
Oh, Ron and Mike, in a very rare moment, Coach Stallings left the sideline, went over to talk to his defensive unit, and turned directly to the defensive backs and talked to them about staying in the face of these receivers, not letting them off the line of scrimmage, is killing them. And he also talked to the defensive line about pressure, not from the outside, but up from the middle of that pass rush.
Ron, he coached secondary for Tom Landry at the Dallas Cowboys. He had a lot of great secondary players, but he was an excellent teacher for Dallas Cowboys.
Now let's see if Alabama's offense can get something going. They go with the draw play. Riddle to the left side. Will have 5, now 6 yards. And I have a feeling that maybe a little more conservative play when you got those running backs, you may see Alabama start to hammer a little bit, Mike.
Well, I think you're right. I think they're going to run the football, but they still have to mix in a little pass to keep Bill Oliver's defense honest. And what Freddie Kitchens throws best is a little short passing game, little 5, 10-yard routes.
By the way, that run just a moment ago by Riddle takes him over 1,000 yards for the season. I believe 1,004. Yep, there it is. This running play may be a loss of 1 as Ricky Neal, the junior out of Daytona, steps up. Now, he has had 20 tackles in the last 2 ball games, and boy, we've called his name a lot again tonight, Mike.
He's really played well. He scraped off very well on that play and was able to make the play. And again, they're so good at movement to the football. Auburn's defense also, they got a pretty good pair of linebackers. Keo Spikes and Ricky Neal inside.
Spikes injured in the first half, but came right back. This is a ball game he's not going to miss. Out of the backfield, Riddle drops the football. Would have had the first down.
Brad Ware again with another big play. Had that interception and made that play on Dennis Riddle and knocked the ball out of his hands.
This is only the 2nd punt in this ball game by Alabama.
Ball should have been caught. Brad Ware, good play on Riddle.
Stockton's kick going to come out of bounds around the 40-yard line, and let's see where they're going to mark it. They're going to say at the, well, he's continuing to move up at the 37-yard line, so it's a 38-yard kick. Well, tomorrow on the Deuce brings you the championship of the Canadian Pro Football League, the Grey Cup. The Toronto Argonauts against the Edmonton Eskimos. A battle of brothers, Doug Flutie against Darren. And you'll see former Florida State quarterback Danny McManus. The Grey Cup on ESPN2 tomorrow at 6:30. So Auburn, the field position thing, Mike, is kind of flip-flopped here in the second half as well.
Auburn has controlled field position here even since the second quarter.
Craig, play action going to go on top. And it is intercepted. That's Kevin Jackson. So undoubtedly the talk that the head coach just had with the secondary did some good.
Well, right, Tyrone Goodson was open for just a short moment, but Kevin Jackson came over the top for the interception. Damian Craig throws the ball high down the field to Tyrone Goodson, but you see Kevin Jackson come over and double and make that play.
So Alabama's offense comes right back out on the field. They're down by 6, 23-17. We have just gone under 8.5 minutes to play in this third quarter. Riddle at left guard. 3 very tough yards. That's Jimmy Brumbaugh down at the bottom of the stack.
When we talked at halftime, Ron, I told you, if Alabama's to win this football game, Freddie Kitchens has to carry a load in this ball game because Auburn's tough enough on defense. Even though they're hurt up front, they're tough enough to stop one dimension because they can scheme you. But Freddie Kitchens has to get the passing game going. First quarter, 6 out of 7, 116 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he threw the interception in the second quarter.
Riddle tonight, 18 carries, 102 yards. Alexander runs into his own blocker. He wants to throw the football, and it was caught and then dropped by Michael Vaughn. Good heavens. I mean, he was there.
We had him open, Ron, pitch, but what caused this play to break down at first was they got some penetration right there. Auburn stopped the throw by Sean Alexander. He's trying to hit Michael Vaughn down the field, and Michael Vaughn just can't redirect and get the football right through his hands.
So it's third down. They need the 41-yard line. This pass is intercepted, and it spikes. Takeo Spikes stepped in front, and Kitchens again throws the interception.
Freddie Kitchens is going to eye his receiver again, and third and long is not a good down for Freddie Kitchens right now. Good double coverage by Auburn. Takeo Spikes, number 55, is going to drop right into the curl area, trying to hit Curtis Alexander. There's Takeo Spikes dropping in the curl area, just makes the interception.
Williams out to the, let's see, down to the 41-yard line. Mike Tirico, what do you have?
Ron, this McDonald's breakaway takes us to the Palouse, as we have seen all day and all night on rivalry weekend. No game is over. Down 24-0. Ryan Leaf to Sean Timms. Washington State is coming back. They're within 7 on Washington.
That script was passed out around the country, I think, Michael. There's certainly one of those versions here in Birmingham. Hit in the backfield. Rusty Williams is just annihilated by Chris Hood. And let's check in with Kellen Winslow.
Ron and Mike, we were talking to Takeo Spikes yesterday. He wanted us to say hello to his father, who after the Georgia game was taken to the hospital because of a heart problem he was having. They kept him in the hospital down in Auburn until Tuesday, released him. He went home. Takeo wanted us to say hello to Jimmy Spikes. Hope you're feeling better.
All righty, Kellen. Our clock is running, 6:19 to play, third quarter. Auburn 23 and Alabama 17. 3 of 10 on third down conversions for the Tigers tonight. Ozell Powell came across. Pretty good acting job by Jim Rowe there, wasn't it? Jim got knocked over by a breeze. Now the discussion is, did somebody from Auburn move?
We have a dead ball foul. Delay of the game against the offense. It's expiration of the 25-second clock. 5-yard penalty is still third down.
Mike, Gene Stallings on the sideline was really on Shamari Buchanan, and that's who the pass was intended for a moment ago. The freshman out of Douglas High School in Atlanta. You have to wonder if he ran a wrong route or exactly what happened.
I'm not sure, Ron. It looked like it was a curl route that was pretty well covered, and Takeo Spikes was able to drop right back in that curl zone for the interception.
Third down now. Overthrown at the 5-yard line. Bailey is the guy that he wanted. Cedric Samuel is the guy who had the cover.
Excellent coverage by Cedric Samuel, number 13. Just ran stride for stride with Carson Bailey. But now it's still going to come down to Alabama's offense has to get something moving, Ron, because they're losing field position. Unless the special teams can make a big play to try to get this field position changed.
Pressure's on, and they forced the bad kick off the side of his foot. This is the worst one that he's had tonight, but he will not have to endure a return because it's out of bounds at the 26. Only a 24-yard kick. So there's a timeout on the field, 5:32 to play, third quarter.
If we don't dream of doing more, won't we just end up doing more of the same?
The Chrysler Sebring JXI convertible. Now, the best-selling convertible, the Chrysler Sebring convertible. As far as it gets, for more of the same.
A long time ago, someone said, "I'm better than you." Warriors collide. They meet in the air, on the ground, under piles. Enter a guy named Madden. Suddenly, players sweat more, look hungrier, get dirtier. His raw genius is everywhere. Tackles become hits. Front lines become trenches. Every inch a mile. Every bomb atomic. Plays are bigger than mouths, and they're barking. I'm better than you, and I can prove it. Madden NFL 97. If it's in the game, EA Sports. It's in the game.
Introducing the new Coors Light Wide Mouth can. It provides an exceptionally smooth pour with less glug. This is because of the wide mouth opening. It's the innovation you've been waiting for your whole life. Or is that just me? Here's your average beer can. Notice that annoying glug sound. Now here's Coors Light's new wide mouth can. A larger opening means a smoother pour. Listen. Whisper soft.
It's a Thanksgiving Day shootout as Bo Morgan leads Air Force to battle Billy Blandon in San Diego State. Thursday at 7, only on ESPN2.
23-17 our score. This spectacular view provided tonight by the Bud 1 airship, which is seen by millions as it flew over the skies of the Centennial Olympic Games in Atlanta, Georgia. And, of course, coming up later in our game, we'll be selecting the Visa Players of the Game. Ron Franklin, Mike Gottfried, and Kevin Winslow coming to you from Birmingham, Alabama. Gene Stallings paces on the sideline. He's got to find an answer offensively as the running game has been slowed by plays like that. Jimmy Brumbaugh coming across to make the hit on Dennis Riddle.
And you can't say enough about Jimmy Brumbaugh. Played in this ball game injured. He's got a bad knee. They didn't know how long he'd be able to play. He's been in this entire football game, and he is the performer in the defensive line. It gives him a little push.
West and Hall, the wide receivers, as they split to opposite sides. It's going to be a second down. Alabama needs the ball out at the 36 to pick up the first down. We're under 5 to play, third quarter. Pitcher gets it out. He'll have the first down as he gets it to Patrick Haight, his tight end, out close to midfield as Dan Evans makes the tackle. Mike Tirico, what do you have for us?
Ron, down 24-0 midway through the third. Wazoo has come all the way back. Michael Black, a 10-yard touchdown. They're tied at 24. I need to borrow one of yours, Ron. Good Lord.
24-24. Well, Alabama right here trying to jerk the momentum away because they have been idled since scoring 17 points. Auburn has come back, and look here, open and running inside the 35-yard line. Dennis Riddle. It's going to be a gain of 13, and Mostella will make the tackle on him.
Ron, I'm not sure if he hadn't run into Travis Smith, number 48. I'm not so sure he wouldn't have broke this run because he was in the secondary, and Travis Smith was blocking downfield, stalk blocking downfield, and Dennis Riddle ran into him. Good, hard runner.
Auburn by 6 as you watch Michael Vaughn break out of the huddle. Top of the screen, number 84, that's Shamari Buchanan, the outstanding freshman from Atlanta. But they go with the running play. Tries to turn the corner. Riddle will. Stays on his feet, out of bounds at the 28.5. Charles Rose defensively.
They're running the stretch play now, trying to break the play outside. Dennis Riddle will read that play all the way. It starts at the tackle. Now he can read it, cut it up inside, take it outside. He sees the blocker, gets the blocker Mostella down, and now he gets the corner. Finally tackled in the secondary by Antoine Nolan.
Now 131 yards. You see the average, over 6 for Riddle. And as we mentioned to you just a moment ago, he's over 1,000 yards for the season. Sean Alexander right up the middle. Mostella will make the tackle on him. And Mike, you could see the wide receiver coming around. They're setting up a play I would a guess, a
yeah,
reverse.
I'm not so sure that wasn't a reverse. And then when the ball was pitched to Sean Alexander, he seen the pressure coming from the outside, so he was going to make the play up inside and get what he could get.
You're probably right. Third down. And what Alabama needs is the 25-yard line. This Auburn defense has made adjustments and made them quite well. They're going to have to call a timeout. They certainly are. The play clock was down to 2 seconds, and we'll take the break with them. 3:15 to play. 23-17 Auburn.
Music Room has been the place to go for band instruments for 40 years. We commit ourselves to quality, ensuring that you get only top-of-the-line band instruments when you buy or rent from us. You get names like Yamaha, King, LeBlanc, Canadian Brass, and Selmer, all names that stand for quality in the music business. Our band instrument staff are all trained and certified as band instrument specialists to make sure they can answer any question you may have. We're proud to be the Yamaha Music and Education dealer in Georgia. The Music Room, East 2nd Avenue in Rome, serving music education in Northwest Georgia since 1956. You already know about Owen's famous barbecue, but did you know they serve breakfast too? You get a good breakfast at a good price. If you need it fast, just head for the drive-thru.
This is my planet. This is my favorite barbecue place. This is my seat, and this is my special biscuit. We call it the Hat. And this is Grandma Pat. She makes my special biscuit. You come here, and she'll make one for you too.
Owen's Barbecue, Martha Berry Highway in Armurchie.
I'm Dan Patrick. I'm Keith Olbermann. We'll see you later. You phony. Do they sell men's clothes where you got that outfit?
I have got a wedgie like nobody's business right now. Thanks for sharing that.
When was the last time your hair actually moved? Like 1977? When you put your fingers through it?
Wedgie didn't prevent that gas from coming up. Hey, that's the Naga hide rubbing on the chair. Don't make things up, bud.
I had a kick here.
I don't know what that is in your teeth, but I assume you're saving that for later.
23-17 Auburn leads. And Mike, you made a point during the timeout. I wish you'd shared with us.
Yeah, I'm not so sure now if you're Gene Stallings. You don't think in terms of 2 plays here. You got 3rd and 3. You've had some problems with your field goal team, even though they've been successful tonight. But I think you think in terms of 2 plays here.
Well, let's see. To pick up the first down, they need to take it to the 25. Look at Auburn hopping up inside. Are they going to come with a blitz? Yep, they are. Kitchens better hurry. Gets by one tackler. Throws it. It is intercepted by Antoine Nolan.
Really good job by Auburn's defense. They really came with a blitz, got Freddie Kitchens all turned around. And when he threw the football, Antoine Nolan was just on real tight coverage here. You see the pressure now. Freddie Kitchens escapes and throws the ball, but he's not able to get enough on the football. Trying to throw the ball to Michael Vaughn, but because he was in the grasp, he tried to get more on it than he could and threw the interception.
That's 3 interceptions that Kitchens has thrown tonight, and 2 of those, boy, are just the worst kind of forces. I mean, there's somebody all over the receiver. Rusty Williams hit at the line of scrimmage. There is nothing for the young running back out of Moncks Corner, South Carolina. Samuel, and that's Eric Curley who comes up to help him.
Again, Cedric Samuel just sitting up there. They can't block him. He's real tight as a safety, and he's making the play.
22 interceptions leading the SEC for the Auburn defense. Only 7 total last year. Bill Oliver's got to be pleased with what they have done here tonight, because in the first quarter, it looked for the world as though you could go ahead and start the grave.
They made some good adjustments and have kind of taken control of this football game.
Timeout, Auburn Tigers. 2:26 left in the third. We'll be right back.
HBO Pictures presents a film based on the true story of the greatest player the world has never known.
The boy I'm waiting for is 10 feet tall.
But when the realities of life take you out of the game, don't give up. It takes a true hero to rebound. Don Cheadle, James Earl Jones, Eric LaSalle, and Forrest Whitaker. Rebound, coming this month only on HBO.
This is the locker room, and that's Neil Smith. We like him when he's good and mean. So we get his mother-in-law to call him Collect before each game without using 1-800-COLLECT. She's got some nerve, Neil. 1-800-COLLECT could have saved him up to 44%. Hey, Neil, she did it to you again. 1-800-COLLECT. Save the people you call up to 44%.
A long time ago, someone said, I'm better than you. The fearless face off. They charge headlong into the crease, into boards, into history. Fiery tempers spill across frozen tundra. Players get faster, more aggressive, less polite. A frenzied dash for a cup where keepers are unconscious, forwards are psychic, and hats are for tricks. Human sacrifice in the name of Lord Stanley. And into center ice, it's carved, I'm better than you, and I can prove it. NHL 97, if it's in the game. EA Sports, it's in the game.
Closing moments of this third quarter, and Auburn coming up with another turnover. Mike, this is one of those, that's 5 turnovers now that they've gotten in this football game. Craig on first down makes his throw complete. Karsten Bailey, and a flag is down in the vicinity of where the play was made. Deshae Townsend may have a face mask on him. Mike, in the early part of this ball game, we talked about incidental face mask, so only 5 yards. We talked at the beginning of the ball game, but just about the fact that it's like Auburn was not focused. They were not here. And now it's just, we've done a complete reversal in this ball game.
I think it's been the turnovers and the fact that they got those 2 big plays on offense, the big pass and Rusty Williams' big run.
Shovel pass, Williams, 5, 10, across the 50, and knocked down inside the 50-yard line. And Mike, I got behind my monitor here and lost. Rudd made the tackle. Did he lose that ball at the end and had his teammate recover?
Couldn't tell, Ron, but the good shovel draw play again by Damian Craig, taking advantage of the hard rush upfield by Alabama. Let's watch the end of this play. Number 7, Kevin Jackson with the tackle.
No, came out after, so anyway, was recovered in case it was loose by Auburn. Craig right over the middle, throws it, bounces around, and an incomplete. Goodson, the intended receiver. Kevin Jackson there with him, and they were doing a juggling act.
Yeah, Kevin Jackson sat right on the route, right where he thought the route was going to be at 10 yards, and Tyrone Goodson ran right into him and was covered. Damian Craig still tried to get the ball into him. Auburn's done a nice job in the second half, Ron, spreading the field with the 4 wide receivers. They have moved the football successfully in this formation.
Craig tried to set up the screen. Alabama smelled it out. Going to try to run, and he'll be tackled for a loss back at the 45-yard line. Kelvin Moore, and it's the first time that they have officially sacked him in tonight's ball game. Well, this Thanksgiving, we will have it all for you. 7:30 on ESPN. Be sure and watch the weekend kickoff show. Catch all the insights and the predictions. And then on ESPN2, 7 o'clock, it is Bo Morgan and the Air Force Falcons battling the San Diego State Aztecs. About to go under 1 minute to play, third quarter. Third down, and they got to take it all the way down to the 38.5-yard line of Alabama. Craig's pass incomplete. That is a great effort by Gaucher to catch it. Townsend had the cover on him.
Almost brought that ball in, Ron, but still wouldn't have had a first down, but almost made a great concentration on that football.
So Jared Holmes to kick it away for the Auburn Tigers. And again, number 11, Chad Goss, is back deep. This time Alabama has a return on it. Again, kind of off the side of his foot. Goss runs away from it. It is going to go dead inside the 15-yard line. That's a 41-yard punt with no return.
Run field position game again for Alabama. This entire third quarter, Auburn has started them down deep. And I don't know if, I'm sure Auburn defensively feels like they're not strong enough to take it 80 yards against this first score without a big play. And Alabama's got to hit some type of big play out of their offense.
Dennis Riddle, the only setback, as you can see from behind. They fake it to him, pressure, and that's going to be a sack by Reese. Third time that they've gotten to Kitchens.
Quentin Reese is a true freshman. He was an all-state wide receiver here in Birmingham, playing in his hometown. The clearinghouse didn't accept him. He had a math class that didn't qualify him, so he had to take all last year and go to night class to become eligible.
That's going to be the last play of the third quarter. Quentin Reese had 9 tackles last week against Georgia. And the Auburn folks are standing and cheering as we head to the fourth quarter. Auburn 23, Alabama 17.
It starts with a full quarter pound of beef with fresh toppings, our chef sauce on a bakery soft roll. McDonald's Arch Deluxe. If it were any more grown up, we'd need to check your ID. Oh, thank you. It's McDonald's with a grown-up taste.
As a winning jock, I know about photo finishing, but the champ at photo finishing is Ritz Camera 1-Hour Photo. Ritz thumbnails, digital big prints, or blow-ups as big as a horse. Get Ritz quick.
Ritz Camera 1-Hour Photo.
If we don't dream of doing more, won't we just end up doing more of the same?
The Chrysler Sebring JXI convertible. Now get a lease for just $289 a month. The Chrysler Sebring convertible, as far as it gets from more of the same.
Man, nothing like a new pair of Nike Turf trainers.
Yeah, you know Steve Young works out in the Air Zoom Fly.
Oh, can that guy hustle? All right. Hey, you're Steve Young.
So, what do you think?
Nobody gets you closer to the game than Foot Locker, where it all begins.
Good morning. Ty Kirby.
Room 426.
Hello, Ty
Wants
Kirby.
to survive his first interview.
Rubbish. Sit up straight. Don't talk too much.
Good day to you, Mr. Kirby. Good luck, sir.
Good. My lucky shoes. Hello, I'm Ty Kirby. I'm ready.
Marriott, when you're comfortable, you can do anything.
Are we falling behind, he asks me. He plays golf with his buddies, and all they talk about is the internet, the intranet, electronic commerce. He says we need this stuff. Are we falling behind, he asks. No, we are ahead. We are way ahead.
Where is enterprise computing headed? Look to where the leaders of the PC revolution are taking it.
And you look from the end zone, and the Alabama Crimson Tide has the ball at the 3-yard line. Mike, the only thing that has surprised me, particularly in the stages that we've just gone through, is how much Alabama's trying to throw the football with as many great running backs as they have.
Well, you got to pick your spots, Ron, to throw it.
Kitchens going to go on top. Vaughn, the intended receiver. and he's off the mark. So it's going to be a third down. By the way, one time in this ball game, Alabama was 3 of 4 in third down conversions. Since that time, back in the first quarter, they are 1 of 7 in third down conversions.
They haven't been able to keep the chains moving. They haven't been able to have any success in the third quarter, really. And what that play was that they just threw, Ron, is when you're deep down in the inside the 5-yard line, you try to hope that you can hit something big with Michael Vaughn down the sideline, but they just wasn't even close. Wouldn't be surprised to come right back to the same thing.
Kitchens pass caught by Vaughn at the 15-yard line, and he goes down. He's 10 yards short of the first down, but what he did give them is they got room to get the punt away now.
Jimmy Brumbaugh again with good pressure. The middle guard on Freddie Kitchens. Hit him just as he threw the football. They need Hayden Stockton right here to deliver, but here's Freddie Kitchens. He's going to get hit by Jimmy Brumbaugh, number 96, just as he released the football.
Now the punt wouldn't turn over, but it's going to work wonderfully as it hits and takes a big Crimson Tide bounce. That's a 56-yard punt. Kellen Winslow, what do you have for us?
Well, Ron and Mike, everybody talks about great matchups in the Big East, of course, the Big 8, I'm sorry, Missouri versus Kansas. On the West Coast is UCLA versus USC. But here in the South, they put it down in words for you. A chronology of this battle between Auburn and Alabama as set for prosperity on these two different books. It just talks about the great games, the great heroes, the comebacks, the upsets, and it's something I'm sure sells very well in the state of Alabama.
Trust me, it does, Kellen. At a certain age, it's required reading. Well, they fake the counter play. They roll out Craig. Good pressure on him, and he just throws it away. Mike Tirico, let's check with you.
Well, Ron, last year, John Wales hit the game-winning field goal to win the Apple Cup for Washington. 41-yarder to win it this year. Looks right down the middle, but just like the Seahawks-Lions game last weekend in the NFL, a curve left. They're going to overtime, tied at 24.
24-point leads mean nothing anymore, particularly when you're talking about these rivalry games. Our situation, Auburn 23, Alabama 17. We're in the fourth quarter, just under 14 to play. Craig's pass, and again, he just lofts this one out of bounds. Goodson, the closest man to it.
And that's twice that Chris Hood, number 34, has been able to pressure Damian Craig rolling out to his right side. Damian Craig's going to roll out to the right side. You're going to see number 34 come right in his face. Just put too much air under the ball, threw it over the head. Michael Myers also, who they've been able to block Michael Myers a little bit. He's their best defensive lineman, number 96 for Alabama.
3 of 12 third down conversions for the Tigers. The line to make for them is the 39. Lofted it too far.
Ron, they had exactly what they wanted right here. Hicks Poor, number 89, against Ralph Staten, number 41. They couldn't have drawn it up any better. Damian Craig just couldn't hit him with the football. There's Ralph Staten now. He's going to pick up the tight end. Hicks Poor, number 89. Now look at this. Now you got a linebacker running with the receiver, and he's in pretty good shape, but Damian Craig just couldn't get him the football.
Garrett Holmes kick. This spiral here, well, it's going to turn over. And this is Goss from the 25. "45 yards on the kick. And the Alabama defense imploring their fans to stand up and make noise.
And the little dragon looked up to the moon with fire burning in his eyes, and he
Why
said,
does he have fire in his eyes?
because he's a dragon.
How come he's a dragon and not a dinosaur?
Well, because...
When you use your Visa card this holiday season, we'll make a donation to Reading is Fundamental. Together, we'll bring kids a million stories.
Have I answered everybody's question?
When do we get snacks?
Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Folks, please remain calm. It has been confirmed. Everyone can now buy a DSS system for as low as $3.99. And with a year's prepaid subscription to DirecTV, also get $200 cash back. DirecTV apologizes for any mass hysteria this may cause and stresses again, it's got to be DirecTV, satellite TV at its best. Repeat, DSS, $3.99, $200 cash back. If we all act civilized, we can get through this thing. Question?
You worry, you're overprotective, you're a parent. Isn't it nice to know that there's something almost effortless you can do to protect your family even more? Just ask your State Farm agent for a free family insurance checkup. It's a smart way for you to decide if your family's insurance coverage is up to date, so they'll be better protected. And maybe you'll worry a little less.
State Farm is there.
ESPN's coverage of Saturday primetime is brought to you by DirecTV, satellite TV at its best, and by McDonald's. Have you had your break today? Well, the 1981 game will go down as the most memorable day in Alabama sports history. Alabama defeated Auburn 28-17 to make legendary head coach Bear Bryant the winningest coach in major college football history, surpassing Amos Alonzo Stagg. Now the defense, as they came off the field, really getting to the crowd, rolling their arms, saying, hey, make noise. We need your backing right now. It's getting late. Sean Alexander gets a couple of steps. He'll take it to the 35-yard line. Charles Dorsey on his back. Well, we talked about the Bear winning his 315th. This man here, a protege of his, and the question in the air tonight, is this the last time that he'll be on the sideline here at Legion Field in this Iron Bowl game? Will Gene Stallings step down after tonight? There are many who think that for sure that will happen, Mike.
There's a lot of talk up in this press box about that subject.
Kitchen. 4 times he's been sacked. It's Quentin Reese again. And this is a freshman out of Birmingham that Mike was telling you about. He's been playing more and more, and you see why.
And Freddie Kitchens just looks like a quarterback that's playing with no confidence. He just really is down to 0 in his confidence level right now. Doesn't want to make a mistake throwing the interception. He takes the sack from Quentin Reese, number 86.
Well, Chris Samuels is the guy who's trying to take care of him. He's a freshman out of Mobile, and Chris has got more than he can say grace over right now. Kitchens pass, got it complete. That's Chad Goss. Nolan came up and put the hit on him, and let's see where they're going to spot it, around the 37-yard line.
But again, because of the pass rush and Freddie Kitchens skating to the outside, Chad Goss had to come back. And had to come back underneath the first down marker, forcing another Alabama punt. This Auburn defense is playing great. Second half.
Stockton's kick. This is his best of the night. Very high and very deep. Fair catch is called for and made back at the 13 by Baker. That's a 50-yard boot. We'll catch an NFL Countdown tomorrow as Boomer and the boys start your NFL day off right. They'll look at the turnaround of the Cowboys after Michael Irvin's return. Also a talk with the leading rusher in the National Football League, Terrell Davis of Georgia. Plus the best news and information on NFL Countdown tomorrow at 11:30 a.m.
Ron, I think this is key right here in this time of the ball game. 11:21 to go. Mike DeBose's defense has to get this 3 and out or keep them down inside the 25-yard line and get the ball back to the offense in good field position after a kick.
Pitch comes back to Williams. Rusty tries to break a tackle. He'll have 3. Mike Tirico, back to you.
And back to the Palouse, where Washington and Washington State are in overtime, tied at 24. First possession, Brock Huard, Jerome Pathon. Washington State now forced to score a touchdown. And they're down at the 1-yard line. 7-point lead for Washington. Congratulations to Arizona State, guaranteeing there will be a team undefeated in a major bowl game. They beat Arizona.
Yeah, congratulations to Coach Snyder and his guys. What a year. Straight ahead, there's nothing. You can see the gang tackling. Hood, 34, the first man to come through and make the hit. Now, right there, behind where they're scrimmaging is the bulk of the Auburn crowd, and that's the reason you heard the boos now. They thought that the Alabama defenders did not stop in time.
Ron, again, big third down here. You've got it. Your offense is struggling. You can't go 80 yards, but maybe you can go 50 yards to win the football game, but you can't go 80 and long, and Auburn has punted them down the field. They need to stop this third down play here and force the punt.
Third down. They need to take the ball to the 23 to keep this drive going. Play clock is at 3. Get it away. Pressure is there. Pass is caught right over the middle by Bailey, and he'll have the Auburn first down at the 29.
Well, that was big right there. Alabama with the safety blitz. Cedric Samuel, number 13, on the blitz. Damian Craig just stayed right in there. Has blocked very well. Hit Carson Bailey first down. Field position again. Auburn. There's the safety in his face, but he made that throw. Damian Craig coming up big for Auburn.
Mike, you can't cover much better than that. He was just
threw the ball right in there.
Williams gets outside, turns the corner for 5, 6, and 7. And Kellen Winslow, what do you have?
Well, Ron, I just wanted to piggyback on something that Mike said earlier about Alabama having to stop Auburn. Conversely, Auburn has to have a key drive here, eat up some of this time on this clock. They can't come in here 1, 2, 3 and punt the ball, because Alabama is not going to be down for the entire ball game.
Kellen, right now, the situation, the ball at the, they put it down at the 35. And it's going to be a second down and about 4 1/2. Boy, Staten out of the ball game, we're told, with a bruised shoulder. Williams gets a block. He's going to have the first down, I believe. Let's see where they're going to spot it. Boy, this is going to be very, very close as Kevin Jackson comes up in the secondary to make the tackle. Also, Michael Myers. And, you know, we have not called Myers' name very much tonight. They have done a very good job handling him.
I think, again, after that first quarter was over, this offensive line of Auburn has come alive. Victor Riley, their big offensive guard, 6'5", 321 pounds, blocking Michael Myers a lot of the time, and Leonard Thomas, number 60.
First down, Auburn from the 40. Craig's pass is tipped and then should have been caught, and it was dropped by Goodson. And that's Bryant who got a hand on it.
Well, he was right there for the interception, Ron. He read the route all the way. Damian Craig tried to get the ball to Tyrone Goodson. You're going to see number 83, Tyrone Goodson, come across the field. Fernando Bryant reads this play right off, and he just got one hand on the football. Couldn't get his other arm up to make that interception.
2 catches that should have been made. The ball was spinning kind of strangely after it got tipped. Auburn leads by 6. Clock is now under 8 1/2. Quarterback draw. Damian Craig right up the middle, and he ran into Ozell Powell. He's going to wind up with about a 7-yard gain.
That shows you what a good athlete Damian Craig is and what good feet he has, because he just kept bouncing around. Ozell Powell had a shot at him, number 78, which you talked about, Ron. It's quarterback draw all the way.
See, Ozell had been turned around. He wasn't even sure that he didn't know he had the football. Wow.
This Alabama defense looks a little tired, too, Ron, when you see a play like that by Ozell Powell. He didn't even make the play on the second chance. It shows me a little bit tired now. Been on the field a long time.
Timeout being called for the Auburn Tigers. They stop the clock with 7:49 to play in our ball game, and they lead by a count of 23-17. We'll be right back.
10 minutes and we're out of here.
Hi, Ralph. It's that pipe again. Will it take long?
Nah, only... Oh, DirecTV. A couple hours.
Well, walk up when you leave.
Sure.
DirecTV. Over 175 channels, digital picture and sound. It's satellite TV at its best.
Wow, does this blow cable away?
Comfy?
For the choice of movies, cable, and sports packages you can't get anywhere else, it's got to be DirecTV.
Introducing McDonald's Deluxe Sandwiches. They're new, they're big, with fresh toppings and a bakery-soft roll. The average adult has over 8,000 taste buds. Get ready to use them all. It's McDonald's with a grown-up taste.
Save $10 on one of the most powerful batteries, the Pro Start, for $39.99 after mail-in rebate. Get the power you need, just $39.99. The Pro Start at all Pep Boys and Parts USA stores now.
It's equal parts, sweat and steel. It's decisions made in the split of a second. And pain endured for the length of a day. And at the finish, you're either toasting victory or getting set to do it all over again next week. It's auto racing, the way we do it, on the Miller team.
The Vols and Vandy hook up in Nashville. Tennessee Vanderbilt, next Saturday at 6, only on ESPN.
23-17, the Auburn Tigers leading. And Mike, and looking at total plays in the second half, Auburn 29 snaps on offense, Alabama only 16.
They controlled the ball from the start in the second half. They came out in the four wide receiver set and really have controlled the football.
Craig, the only back. It's been an automatic blitz, and that's exactly what happens. Stone right over the middle, has it complete. And Baker being pushed back. Let's see, from where they're giving him forward progress at the Alabama 48, that's a first down.
Ron, the best way you can describe this is just like basketball. You try to find guys to go down and just pivot and try to find open areas and get the football to them, because you got Alabama spread out all over. You got to play man coverage against it. That's Robert Baker, number 21. Kelvin Ziegler, number 20, making the tackle. And they've got the field spread, and they're controlling the pass rush, and they're finding the open receivers.
Williams dancing up through what appeared to be a small hole. He's going to wind up with a gain of close to 6 yards on the play. And Mike again on that play, and I was trying to watch Michael Myers. They have really done a good job of double-teaming him, but they knew they were going to have to.
Yeah, they knew. They had a lot of respect for Michael Myers. They're doing a nice job on the play calling in the second half for Auburn. Really, from the second quarter on, has been excellent, because now we talked about spreading them out with 4 wide receivers. They come back in now with 2 backs, and they're going to try to pound Auburn, or Alabama, rather.
See Rudd sneaking up into the hole. They run right by him, but that's a great tackle from the secondary, Cedric Samuel, to knock down Williams.
That's the problem when you play Alabama. You have to find a way to control the safeties so that they don't always make plays like you're just going to see here. Sitting up so tight in the line of scrimmage, pitch to Rusty Williams, number 3. See number 13 sneak up, Cedric Samuel. There's nobody to block him. You're just out of people. Either you crack back with the wide receiver, or you got to try to throw behind him to keep him honest.
This is the 11th play of the drive, and we're about to go under 6 minutes. That's all left in this ball game. Play clock is down to 3, down to 2. Just got it off. Blitz is there. Staten hits him as he gets his pass away, and it is in and out of the hands of Baker as Townsend had the cover.
Covered like a blanket, Ron. Deshae Townsend running stride for stride with Robert Baker. Man coverage again. Blitz is on. You're out on an island if you're the corner right here, running in his hip pocket. When he turns to make that play, you get your hand up there. Deshae Townsend knocks the football away.
So after picking up almost 6 yards on the first down, the Auburn situation is they run out of downs, and they're going to have to punt the football away. 5:46 to play. And now this clock is going to get very, very quick. Auburn by 6. Fair catch is called for and is made by Townsend at the 15. It's a 29-yard kick, but the Crimson Tide will be scrimmaging from their own 14. We'll be right back.
You want to ride?
you want to tone, to shape, to condition, you want the best. Cardioglide by Westlaw.
Rated by Consumer Digest as a best buy.
A friend of mine said I should try America Online. So I did. I've gotten help with my golf swing, planned my next vacation. I even get stock price updates every 15 minutes. America Online puts over 100 newspapers and magazines right on my screen. I've got worldwide email, point-and-click internet access, and a great web browser. Plus new features keep getting added. Call the toll-free number and you'll receive your free startup kit and 50 free hours to look around. It's worth a try. You'll see.
The champion Cats, the #1 contender, and everybody's All-American, look to make an early season statement in Chicago. The DirecTV Grade 8 coverage begins Tuesday, December 3rd, only on ESPN. Turkey Tourney Week means March matchups in November. Silky Smooth Soft Paul Pierce and the well-stocked Jayhawks jump with Hotshot Frost, Lester Earl, and LSU. Kansas LSU, the Maui Invitational, Monday at 9:30 on ESPN.
Thanksgiving weekend. 4 of the game's big guns try to shoot eagles in the desert. The Skins game from La Quinta begins Saturday at 3:30 on ABC.
No, we've got our own little shootout here, and right now Alabama's holding the gun. But since the first quarter, they kind of aimed it toward their own head, or foot, I should say. They're 86 yards away. 5 minutes and 37 seconds left in the ballgame. That last Auburn drive, just shy of 6 minutes. Kitchens pass, complete, Vaughn over the middle to the 31-yard line. Good for 17. Well, this is what they're playing for tonight. Alabama wins in the West, they're the division winner. Auburn wins, and an LSU win over Arkansas next week, then LSU would be the division winner. Auburn wins, LSU loses, then Auburn would be the winner of the Western Division of the Southeastern Conference.
And the prize, of course, is a trip to play Florida.
In Atlanta, you're right. 2 weekends from today. Kitchens right over the middle, has the pass complete at the 46-yard line.
Ron, right here, Freddie Kitchens. Junior quarterback, he's 6'2", now standing in the pocket, throwing little square-in passes. Hits Calvin Hall here. 2 in a row now. Hits Vaughn, and then he comes back with Calvin Hall. Now, that should open the running game a little bit. That's against Antoine Nolan. So, let's see now if they get the ball in the running back's hands or keep throwing the football here.
Cheer goes up, roll Tide. Kitchens looking, flag comes down. That's probably going to be holding as Kitchens runs. Enough for the first down, out of bounds down at the Auburn 39. But let's check out this marker. And when it was thrown and where it was thrown, you'd almost have to guess holding.
Good guess, Ron. It's holding.
Let's check with Mike Tirico. Mike?
All right, Ron, let's wrap up that Washington State-Washington game. Washington State was in a must-score touchdown situation. Got down to the 1, but a flag moved them back. Ryan Leaf to Chad Carpenter. He caught it, but a foot out of bounds. A great call by the official. Washington wins. Their season ends at 9-2. The Cotton Bowl, their most likely place. Washington State does not qualify for a bowl.
Okay, Mike. I'll tell you that Washington team, 9-2. They're the only team to have beaten BYU this year, so that's a pretty good notch on your belt. Our situation, Auburn 23, Alabama 17, 4:40 left to play. Following the penalty, it's going to be a first down and 31 yards to go. Pass incomplete. Riddle couldn't hold on as it was thrown hard and low. That was Ware with the cover. Can't tell you how important that last drive was for Auburn. They held the ball 5 minutes and 45 seconds, and although they came away with no points, they kept this man's football team off the field, and now they're going to very shortly have to go to hurry up.
And Ron, the penalty is really tough to overcome in this situation. They need to get a little bit of it back on this play.
Kitchens steps up, throws the safety valve, and he threw it low. That was Travis Smith, the fullback.
Now you got to get it all back on third down now to keep these chains moving. And the other thing that's important right now, Alabama has 2 timeouts left. So 4:29 to go. So if they don't make it here, they're going to punt. They're going to have to punt the football and then play defense one more time and try to stop Auburn and get their offense back in fairly decent field position. But here they need to go 31 yards here for a first down. Look for them just to hang it up here, Ron.
4 of 13 on third down conversions. Kitchens is sacked. Leonard Carlson, and Carson has him. That's the 5th time that they have been sacked tonight.
Can't take a sack again. I know it's easy to say, and you're not out there playing. And Freddie Kitchens is the one looking at the pass rush, and it's very difficult to get the ball off. And now Hayden Stockton has to deliver.
Mike, a moment ago, Kitchens had run and it was out of bounds at the 39 of Auburn. Then the penalty came, and look what's happening now. They're punting from back at their own 20-yard line. This is a rocket. Take her all the way back to the 25. "55 yards on the punt, 9 on the return."
Now you turn it over to your defense. Bill Oliver, of course, on that side of the ball has done his job as a defensive coordinator at Auburn, getting the ball back for Auburn's offense. Now Mike DeBose's defense. The pupil under Bill Oliver has to get the football back for his offense or get a turnover here.
Bill told me last night, one of the last things he talked about, he said, I said, a key in the ball game, he said, we got to create turnovers. Well, 5 times Alabama has turned the football over tonight, and it has been key. Craig pitches back to Williams, stuck hard at the line of scrimmage by Cedric Samuel. Now that clock is really going to start rolling in a hurry if you're Alabama. 3.5 minutes down to 3:29. Auburn with 1 timeout, Alabama with 2.
Auburn wants to keep the ball on the ground, Ron, and keep this clock moving.
Craig, running play. Williams puts the head down, and he's going to have about 3. Now it's going to be 3rd down. They got to take it to the 44-yard line, and Alabama's going to call a timeout to stop the clock. So let's take a break. 2:49 left to play. Auburn by 6.
What would you call a guy who came up and tapped you on the shoulder and asked you to step outside? Well, if you'd had a few too many at the party, and the same guy asked for your car keys and got you home safely, you ought to call him your best friend. He'd sure be a friend of mine.
Like Launch can connect to your internet link, so you can email bands you've just seen playing. The Intel Pentium processor, it jams.
I consider my life as an architect, as a journey. Normally, I can't sleep on airplanes, but in world business class, I sleep very well.
Craig does not want to go out of bounds, goes down. You can see the official winding that arm. He stayed on the field of play as Staten and Hood combined on the stop. And now we're about to go under 2.5 to play.
Ron, that was a run all the way, trying to get the quarterback outside just to spend some time. What a nice play again by Ralph Staten. Fought off the block by Fred Beasley, kept Damian Craig inside of him and made the tackle.
Well, ESPN Sunday Night NFL continues tomorrow at 8 o'clock as Brett Favre and the Green Bay Packers look to rebound from their Monday night loss as they take their air show to St. Louis for a battle with the Rams and Isaac Bruce. ESPN Sunday Night NFL tomorrow following NFL primetime.
Well, you practice special teams every day. And you go back to early fall practice when you have two-a-days and you start working on fundamentals and you talk about all these situations. 228, your offense is struggling a little bit. You need a punt return or you need a punt block right here out of the Alabama special teams. Auburn on the other side, they want to punt the football and make Alabama's offense go the distance, 70, 80 yards, which they think they got control of that.
Ty's coming after it, and he got it away, and they ran into the punter, but no flag. They're going to go dead at the 26-yard line. 37-yard punt, but most importantly, they didn't get it blocked.
Ron, let's see if they go right back to the square ends, to either Calvin Hall or Michael Vaughn. About 12-yard square ends. That's what Freddie Kitchens throws the best. And Michael Vaughn is the leading receiver on this Alabama football team.
Here are the possessions by Alabama in the second half, and there are a total of 6 of them. Punt, interception, interception, punt, punt, punt. Kitchens gets it away. Incomplete. Calvin Hall is the man that he wanted. Marcel West coming in from the bench. He's bringing the play. Goss will head out. 2:09 left in the ball game. Auburn by 6.
4 wide receiver set now, taking Pat Hape out of the ball game.
That pass for Vaughn. Riddle, I beg your pardon, 29, overthrown.
Freddie Kitchens just zero confidence right now, Ron. You can see it in his throws. He's trying to push the football, not throwing the football. He's just having a rough go of it here in the fourth quarter.
In the first quarter, he was just almost immaculate.
He was perfect. I mean, he threw the passes, got the ball down the end zone, did everything you needed him to do.
Well, he hit 6 of his first 7 passes in that opening quarter. 3rd down. Kitchens gets it away, has it complete, and that is Buchanan. And Kitchens is down. He took quite a shot as he got it away, and it looks as though that his left leg is injured.
Ronnie, he's a tough guy. I'll tell you what, he's played with cracked ribs. He's had a problem all year. He hasn't complained about it. He stays in there. Wow, did he take a hit. And Mark Smith is one of the better defensive linemen, and they didn't expect him to play tonight also. He's coming in and playing in a hurt.
On 1st down, Kitchens.
Receivers didn't help him right there, Ron. Pumped that football, and they just stayed still. They didn't help him. They didn't come back to him, and they didn't take off, and they just kind of sat down on their route.
1 minute and 50 seconds left as you see Woody McCorvey talking it over with Gene Stallings and with Chad Goss, who brings in the play.
Freddie Kitchens is a battler. He'll battle you the whole way.
To 28, 254, 2 touchdowns, but the figure on the right is the one that makes you cringe.
Yeah, pretty good numbers except for that one.
Safety valve. Riddle turns it upfield, cuts it back into the middle, has the 1st down, and runs over his own man. Buchanan was looking around, didn't know what to block or what, and he got run over.
That's just like a running play there, throwing a little flare out to Dennis Riddle, get him the ball in the open field, and then let him take off and make some yards, and that's exactly what he did.
1:39 to play. Alabama with another 1st down and over midfield. Kitchens from the shotgun. Again, they swing it out. Riddle cuts it forward. He may have another first down. Yes, he does. Now, the official is saying continue to roll the clock, which it will, but the chains will keep it until they get them reset. Terry Bowden paces, and for good reason, because this is the best that Alabama has been on offense in the second half.
That same thing again.
Going to go for the end zone. He's got a man there, and pass interference is going to be called. Vaughn had gotten behind the defensive back.
Charles Rose, Ron.
Just ate him up. Went right over the top of him.
Charles Rose probably made a good move on this particular play, taking the interference.
We have pass interference against the defense. 15 from the previous spot.
Freddie Kitchens again getting outside, hanging this football up. Let's see if Charles Rhodes, number 31, see who's face guarding all the way on Michael Vaughn.
But you're right, Michael Vaughn is going to have a touchdown if he doesn't do that. He made sure he didn't catch the football. Now the penalty moves it to the 17.5-yard line. We have 1:12 left to play. It is Auburn 23 and Alabama 17.
Ron, if you're Auburn, you better know where Michael Vaughn is right now in the 22 and the back out of the backfield. They're having success throwing to him.
Kitchen steps up into the pocket, pumps it. He'll run inside the 10, and he's down to the 9. Brumbaugh makes the tackle. 102 down to 101. Alabama has no timeouts left.
And one of their touchdowns early in the ball game, they hit Michael Vaughn on a quick slant pattern.
47 down to 46. 2nd and 1. Pass right over the middle. Hits him in the hands. Dropped it. Then did he catch it? Can't tell. They're going to say yes. It is 1st and goal, Alabama. He juggled it twice and then came down with it.
Ron, that was a slant pass right there to Michael Vaughn. If he'd have caught it on the first catch,
might have scored.
Had a chance. But you got to give him a lot of credit making the second catch.
Clock is rolled back in, down to 37, down to 36. 10th play of the drive, swings out the pass and thrown too low for Riddle. Spikes was coming out to cover, but there also was a blocker out there in the area.
Well, Ron, I think, again, if you hit Riddle out there and he can get off to the sidelines, at least get out of bounds and stop that clock, pick up a few yards, but still a lot of time for Alabama here. Of course, Terry Bowden knows that time's facing him also.
Timeout, Auburn Tigers. And they have none left.
Good timeout, though, because what they want to do right now, with only 32 seconds left, what they want to be able to do is talk it over right now with the linebackers in the secondary of what they expect Alabama to throw at them right here.
Tonight's Visa players of the game. From the Auburn Tigers, Spikes, Takeo Spikes, 9 tackles and 1 interception. And from Alabama, Dennis Riddle, 21 rushes, 131 yards. As part of their continuing effort to further the development of amateur athletics, Visa is proud to donate $1,000 to each of these universities on behalf of these athletes. Ron Franklin, Mike Gottfried, and Kellen Winslow coming to you from Birmingham, Alabama, and trust me, nobody has left Legion Field. I mean, this, and the thing with this kind of drama, for the next 364 days, they will talk about this one and replay it and relive it. Some folks don't even want to look. It is 2nd down and goal. Kitchen swings it out to Riddle. At the 5. He will score! Seconds left. Now, it is not an automatic. The kicking game has not been 100% for the Crimson Tide.
No, they still got to make this extra point. Auburn's going to come off the corner hard.
Brock with the attempt. Gets a good pass. Kick is up. Alabama on top by 1.
Freddie Kitchens, they moved the running back to the wide side of the field now. Dennis Riddle's going to flare out to the outside, and that's what I said. When you get him the ball outside, now you can't overrun him. Ricky Neal just overran the play. Now you get the ball in your best back's hands in the open field. It was a good call by Gene Stallings, and Woody McCorvey gets the touchdown. Ron, I want to say one thing here as you see Gene Stallings. I'll tell you, credit Freddie Kitchens. And he threw 3 interceptions, but he was able to bring his club back on the key drive. Now, Terry Bowden still has 26 seconds to go. Of course, he doesn't have any timeouts, but he's still got the long ball possibilities.
William Watts with the kickoff, and that goes out of bounds. So they're going to get a little head start as far as taking it up the field. And, of course, nothing comes off the clock because of it going out of bounds.
Alabama played the first quarter and the last of the fourth one. And in between, Auburn kind of dominated this football game.
You're exactly right. You're exactly right. It's actually, this is a third different ball game. The first one was Alabama, the second was Auburn, and now the Crimson Tide has come back. And let's see if Auburn still has another chapter to go in this book.
Still got a shot.
Craig on top, too far. Karsten Bailey is the man that he was looking for. That took 6 seconds. We have 20 ticks left.
Bailey counts it defended. 20 seconds remaining.
Terry Bowden, his ball club just really not functioning early. They've made some adjustments. They really came on. They got to get it done now. Craig under pressure. Runs away from Myers. Gets his pass away deep. It is knocked away by Deshae Townsend. And we have 8 seconds left. Is it this man's last game on the sideline against the Auburn Tigers for the Alabama Crimson Tide? Those are the rumors tonight. As you look at this play by Townsend as he reads the receiver's eyes and knocks it away.
Good coverage by Deshae Townsend. He's played a whale of a football game against Karsten Bailey. Get the prevent defense in here. Now it's guard to goal line time.
Swings it out, has it complete to Williams. Gets out of bounds at the 41. 2 seconds showing on the clock. The secondary has dropped off with 2 seconds left. The line of scrimmage is the 40-yard line. They've dropped all the way back to the 10 and 15-yard line. Looks like a kickoff return. Damian Craig, everything he's got. And it is knocked away by Alabama.
Great game. Is this it for you, Coach? He's out of here, Jay.
So Gene Stallings heads to the locker room. Almost an improbable finish, Mike, the way they had stuttered and stammered on offense. You can look at the Auburn faithful as this young man right here. They can't believe it because they had closed the door on this Alabama football team offensively, but the last gasp was good enough.
Ron, I guess that's what makes this rivalry one of the best. The great effort that was given by both these teams tonight. They laid it all out in this football field, both these teams.
Again, we repeat the question. We're going to try to ask Gene, but he was too excited to get onto the locker room. Is it his final game to coach the regular season here at the University of Alabama? We'll find out, I'm sure, in the next few days. Once again, our final score, Alabama 24, Auburn 23. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Now let's join Mike Tirico for the